Yes, good people. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. It's a win for us, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Some people are saying it was an awful performance. To me, it was a good performance, but kids will always be kids. There are some observations that are concerning. Most, you could say, most especially, our discipline is an issue. But I know that will come over time. Without wasting much of the time, it is a Chelsea 3, Brighton 2. 10-man Chelsea beat 11-man Brighton. That's not easy. That's a new one for us, which I strongly believe will be a confidence booster for us. Without wasting much of your time, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, let's get into it straight away. The first person in the house is Constantine Dante. Much love to you. I don't know why I love saying your name like that, but you're special to this community. You're the captain, and I respect you. Much love to you, brother. And I'm guessing you're happy. Let me know if that isn't the case. And we have my bro, Uncle Chestas, my Texas bro, my fellow American. Much love to you, Coach. 3 points, we move. That's all that matters. I'm seeing PYS or PIS as saying what an awful performance by the win. No, it was a good performance. Aside the red card, we were very direct. They kept the ball more than we did. They had the ball more than we did, but we were moving with blistering space, which was what we wanted to see during the game, and it happened. An excellent performance for us, in my opinion. And the gist, the host, Chelsea Mitchell Boy, somebody I don't like, but much love to you, Mitchell Boy. When you get a chance, share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. You deserve to have more than up to 5,000 subscribers right now. And let's see what else we have here. Yep, 3 points. We move and we take it. Yep. Hello to you too, aka or Aka. Aka, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Also, thank God Brighton had so many out. It doesn't matter. I don't think they have too many out, actually. This is that Deserving decided to leave Mitoma on the bench. Probably, as I said during the pregame show, Brighton looks like they're prioritizing European football than the Premier League, in my opinion. It doesn't matter. If it makes you happy to consider the fact that we had a red card. We were 1 man down, which means we played a 10 man for long duration of the game, in my opinion. So it balanced out. I don't care really. It just doesn't matter. And if it makes you happy, we usually don't beat teams that are depleted. Yeah. Charity FC, and you know exactly what I mean. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Kachila, yes, my bro, I am in the house and I am happy. Let's give the captain's armband to the next airhead. Gallagher, to me, I don't know. I saw that coming. The moment he got he received the first yellow, I think he was overdoing it. I knew he was going to get a second yellow. And I said, please, remove Gallagher. And some people were saying after the break, I said, no, given the way he plays, if he receives the first yellow, you need to take him off immediately. Otherwise, he's going to receive the second. He's going to receive the second. Second yellow and then a red. And lo and behold, that was exactly what happened. I'm not going to get into the argument whether he's a good player or not. As I've said, the bar is so low. Even players that wouldn't get into the best Chelsea teams, you say emerging as some of our best players. And in Gallagher's case, this is no time to just argue whether he's a bad player or not. It's just that the manager should have known. He should know Gallagher well enough to know that, he should take him off the moment he received the first yellow. Even Kaisedo, you could argue, lucky to have finished the game, in my opinion. That's how I see it. But I'm happy we won against our rival over time. Brighton has become one of our biggest rivals, given the transfer activities that's gone on between the two teams. But I'm happy, and I have to be honest. Let's see what else we have to say here. Let's give you up. Maybe. Is the crowd at Stamford Bridge the quietest in Europe? I've always had issue with the match-going fans, really. I don't think they did well enough. Yeah, and some will argue, when the players perform, then the fans will cheer them on. I think you need to do more. You need to be the 12th man, whether they're trailing, whether they're playing badly. You need to be as loud as possible. They may be. I cannot hear anything, my friend. Even ask me if the game was being played at Brighton's home ground. Yeah, they were louder than our own fans. They were booing our players, and we could hear them, but we couldn't hear our own fans cheer our players. But good thing the players showed character today, in my opinion. I was embarrassed beyond imagination. You're rightly so. Brother Dante, why that Brighton had a lot out? Don't we also have a lot out? We have a lot out too. Plus, we played against them for a long period of the game with 10 men. Yeah, that's huge for me. That's a good win. I get it. Kids will always be kids. Ill discipline is our biggest problem, in my opinion. Kaisedo had 2 more challenges he could have been sent off. Yeah. And if you were paying attention to the group conversation, I was screaming, please take him off. He looked tired too. Take him off. Bring on Ugochukwu. Ugochukwu, his style of play could have been helpful because he knows how to calm the game down better than Kaisedo does, in my opinion. We were lucky. Yep. It was a composed performance, and the season the win with 10 players will boost confidence for the upcoming games, and there's no international break to ruin it for us, so I'm happy we got the win. Breaking news: the coach has called for the Chelsea fans to act more. Don't do this to me. And just as I know, you know fully well that I want to make heaven, please don't drag me to hell. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have just 9 likes. We should be doing better than that. The likes to go a long way. If you're happy that we won, drop the likes, people. I will subscribe. Go ahead. Go do that. Kaisedo was acting like an airhead as well. Was saying I was screaming, take him off. My fear was that we're gonna finish that game with just 9 men. Honestly. Take him off as well. I'm surprised he made it to the end. I'm surprised too. But that's, by the way, let's get hear Roger's thoughts. Roger, how did we win this one? I think we played the way you when I asked you during the pregame show, what do we do to win that game? You say we must up the tempo. We must you can say be quick with our passes and everything, in transition and everything. We did that, but I was concerned really when Gallagher was sent off. But let's hear you, Roger. How did we win this one, really?
Yeah, I thought our tempo in getting yellow cards was significantly higher.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? No,
no, but I get your point, though. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, now I understand what you're saying, because once you received the first one, because of the opposition and
because of how he plays.
Yeah, but you know, I have to disagree on certain thing, because a few games ago, I can't remember which one it was. I'd have to look it up. He was booked in like the first 10, 15 minutes, and yet he finished the game. So that's not always the case, coach.
So you're saying it's down to who we were playing against?
Possibly. I don't know. Only he knows, coach. You know, it's all I'm trying to say is I understand your logic, and I agree with it to a certain extent. But also, having said that, I've seen him being booked very early in a game this season, by the way, and he has maintained, shall we say, a modicum of discipline. So,
but in all honesty, Roger, wouldn't you say? Let me just ask you this quickly. Sorry for cutting you off. He was doing too much in this particular game that I was too concerned.
Yeah, no, I get it. I feel your concern, because I felt the same way to a certain extent, and I was hoping that he would show more constraint as he did previously earlier in the year. But he didn't. So, you know, but that happens with quite a few people. Now, I remember the first time he received 2 yellows in succession in his first season for Chelsea. I mean, he was rash, he was gung-ho, but he's shown more composure this year. And so I was possibly a little bit more lenient, or maybe more positive in in my hopes, but obviously that didn't come to fruition. But I understand what you're saying, because the thought had crossed this mind. And so I get it. I totally understand your thought. But, let's be honest. I didn't think it was that bad of a tackle. But here's the big problem. Why go to ground and give the opportunity to the ref in the first place? So that's where I criticize him for.
Yeah, I agree with you. The argument shouldn't be that it was harsh, but the argument should be he should know better than going to the ground while already on the yellow.
It was soft, in my opinion. Especially, listen, I've seen games, and you've seen games where we see a player on the yellow that makes an even harder tackle than that, but the ref gives him the benefit of the doubt, and that obviously didn't happen, and that's his fault. Meaning that is Gallagher's fault for giving the opportunity to the ref to even consider it. So, but then again, he plays at a certain level, and that's his MO to a certain extent. Maybe on another day he doesn't get the second yellow, but I get your logic. But you see mine also. I'm playing devil's advocate as I normally do, but I was disappointed with the fact that, listen, if he'd gone in and taken the guy out and it was a dirty challenge, then I could say, you know what, he's a putz for doing that. He's a moron for doing that. But he didn't. I didn't think it was worthy of being sent off. But then again, as I've also said contradictorily, that, you know what, it's his fault for giving the opportunity to the ref. Listen, it's 3 points. I agree with Uncle Jester. I agree with you. 3 points is 3 points. We win ugly,
Yeah, we played well. We played well severally and didn't even get a draw.
Yeah, exactly. Conversely, right? And subsequently, listen, there's room for improvement. There is no doubt about it. But I do like the fact, though, that Gallagher had a couple of corners. He kicked them deep, which allowed the players to knock the ball back in the box and cause confusion and a lack of marking on Brighton's defense. So, we found a winning formula in that regard. But obviously, we need him on the field for set pieces. There was a lot.
Two-headed goals, and one from a player you've been complaining that has not been scoring goals. But
hold on 1 second though. He's inside 4 yards with the nearest player around him is a fellow Chelsea player. He doesn't even leave the ground. It's a tap-in. Okay, so that's a tap-in. You can't give him... Okay, you want to give him credit for that? And the second is a penalty, which he's 500 for. So he's not exactly Messi-esque. So I don't think we should... When I criticize him for scoring, it's not so much the scoring, it's the manner in which he shoots. It's pretty poor. And that's not subjective, that's objective. But if you have a look at his shots that he's made entirely this entire season, they look like back passes. They don't even look like shots. So that's where my criticism is founded, and I think it's justified.
All right, let me let's give those in the chat the microphone. Uncle Jester, I'll be back to you with you in a bit. There's quite a lot to catch up here. I'll probably be skipping quite a few. Kaisedo was acting. I think I've addressed that one. And this one here says, I don't want to call that name again. Honestly, I was more afraid of the referee rather than our players. That was a very suspect. I wasn't too sure at times what the referee was doing. I thought actually he had given a penalty against us, and thank goodness. I was like, do these guys want to lose on papers? Yeah, our discipline is concerning to me. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, but this referee was just too eager. Players cannot stop playing before a referee wants to see them beaten. Wow. And my friend and my sister is in the house. Miss Melina, welcome. I appreciate you. Nice to see you here once again. I hope you're doing well. And whenever I get a chance, I'll be on your channel if you're live, because you're a good person. More importantly, for 2 games running soft yellows. We have to find a way to address that. Gallagher should never have started this game. Palmer should have been at the 10, the guy to play in the number 10 position. And if he came on, he was fit. I don't know. That's you just maybe speculating that he was fit, that the manager didn't just want to start him. And Miss Melina, my friend and my sister, no Conor Gallagher at Chelsea, no Conor Gallagher Chelsea feast today, right? Okay. Big up, Coach and Jesters, my people. You are our people, our person indeed, a very nice person, and I'm glad to have met you. Even though you're an opposition fans, you keep it strictly footy. You don't take it personal, and you don't attack people personally. You keep it within the game, and that's something I appreciate. And your knowledge of the game is something special too. Let's see what else we have here. Honestly, I don't blame Gallagher. I blame the manager. In my opinion, I'm not blaming Gallagher. I'm saying, even though I agree he should have known better, you don't go to ground. You're giving the referee the platform to say, yeah, you deserve a second yellow. The manager should know Gallagher well enough to know that the way he applies himself on the pitch and the way he played so far at the time before that first yellow, I sensed it. He shouldn't be on the pitch. The manager should take him off immediately. So I blame the manager, first of all, before arguing whether Gallagher should know better or not. He should know Gallagher well enough to know that he can be erratic at times and take him off. And lo and behold, after putting out a tweet saying Gallagher should be taken off, and somebody says after the break, I said, now. It's just as if I knew from what I was seeing, and I don't even hate him. But that's anyway, it has happened. How come Milner didn't see a red? That's another thing to talk about. That's another thing. See, it was a penalty. We'll talk about that in a bit. Uncle Justice, let's hear you. How did we win this one?
Well, we tried to lose it. We really did. We got it up, and then we didn't put them to the sword. And if you look at the little triangle right there, the Gallagher, Kaisedo, Sterling triangle, we got to have some conversations here. I Raheem Sterling does not like to play on the right, but it doesn't mean you're going to be lazy the entire game and walk. I saw you sprint one time to close a player down. Especially when you go down to 10 men, everybody has to put maximum effort to close down space. This guy was loafing on the field the entire match, pretty much. You're a professional football player. What are you doing? Conor Gallagher should never play for Chelsea again.
Do I know you were going to say that?
He is awful. When he put in that first challenge, I was like, get him out. Because when he puts that first one in, the second one's coming. It's a matter of time. And I saw Cole Palmer go out to warm up, and I thought, okay, he's going to yank him. And he waited. And he picked up a second. I don't want to hear that they were soft. When you're on a yellow, you cannot make challenges and give the ref a decision to make. You cannot do it. Okay? You did it, and you got sent off. Moises Caicedo, you're on a yellow card. Be ref. As much as people want to complain about this ref, he gave us 2 lifelines. He had 2 chances to red card Caicedo, and he didn't. So thank you for that, because Caicedo should have been off too. Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah, he should have been off too. We were lucky. In all honesty, so, he didn't play. He didn't play like as if he was on a yellow. He was playing as if. I was shocked that he finished the game. Actually, I was begging, please take him off. And he looked tired at some point, and I was thinking maybe Hugo should come on and calm the game down a bit, because Hugo is, you could say, he plays the game in a calm manner, and Kaisedo he's not that good at, you could say, beating the press or even beating his man one-on-one. In most cases, he loses the ball. As good as he is, and I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I think it was a mistake to have let him finish that game, a serious one at that. But I'll come back and I will get to Bobby to hear what he thinks we did right. And Uncle Jester said we did try to lose that game. Yeah. And it's believable, really. Conor misses the next game, right? Definitely.
He's gone.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the fan base will be happy. Ooh, Ooh, celebrations. Yeah, you know that. And why we're Brighton given a corner instead of a drop ball in the end of that. Let me highlight this one too. Maybe something else we need to talk about.
I can tell you.
Also, we'll see how we look without you.
Yeah, look better.
Okay, we'll see. I guess we'll see. I guess that will settle a lot of arguments. Yeah. Yes, he does. He's responding to somebody there. Let's see. This ref got some money tonight in his Bahamas bank. Just go away, please. No Gallagher at Old Trafford, 3 points incoming. You think so? We'll find out on that day. Hopefully we'll win. That's all I care. 3 points from United. Mark this down. Chelsea will beat Man United. Wow. I like your truthfulness, but here's the thing. I wouldn't take that game lightly. I think we need to play against them. Approach that game as if United are topping the table, and we have something called Charity FC, and believe me, it is still well and truly in existence. But hopefully, let's see in 3 days. Yeah, I won't forget you said that, and we have something happened to Jerry. No, Jerry is busy. And we have Mitchell boy. I don't like you, bro. You're trying to bribe me to start liking you. Much love to you, brother. I appreciate the support. And you know you don't have to. It's all love from me, just as much love you've shown me too. And if you're watching, if you haven't, go check out Mitchell Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. And quickly, those of you that are watching and for some reason you're not able to participate in the chat, just know that we appreciate you. And that's because you watching alone does go a long way. And please, we urge you to do us one more favor, one tiny favor, which is just to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us. We'd really appreciate that. So, Mitchie, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Let's see anything else. That's Kaisedo, and we'll even have what we paid for him. It's just a single game, man. Come on, be fair. I am being rational. I acknowledge that I was wrong about Gallagher. Okay. I will always say this. Enzo and Gallagher shouldn't be playing at the same time. We were very lucky today. You could argue that, but again, we played well to a certain extent, but we were reckless, in my opinion. I was just not happy with the ref. Investment TV. Okay, what did he do wrong? You didn't say. Okay, that's not a Chelsea fan there. Coach, it's like a plane with 10 men is becoming our DNA, and it's our laziness and sluggishness way of playing. Maybe that may well be the case. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and now try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. And the beautiful game is in the house. This is big up Uncle Jester, light up the room. I know you will never say coach is doing a good job. I know that. But look, you just came and you're hyping up Uncle Jester's. Raheem didn't perform to his capacity. He was awful today. And Roger would say he told us. What do you expect when this team is daycare? Yeah, kids will always be kids. You know, our midfield was terrible from when it takes Cole Palmer dropping deep to help Kaisedo dribble out of it. Kaisedo, I think we play on the flanks. We play as he will still be one of the midfielders, but more as an 8 than a sitting 6, because that's a role that Romeo Lavia can fulfill exceptionally well for us. And Kaisedo isn't the man to be sitting for us, in my opinion. Gallagher were correct, in my opinion. The second one, you could say, could have gone either way, but he gave the referee the opportunity to decide what happens to him on the pitch. Gallagher should have just gotten a straight rate to miss it. 3, not just 1. So you're celebrating that. I didn't see the commitment and fighting spirit in the team. Fighting spirit, I did see, in my opinion. Because anytime they concede a goal, their spirit were flat down. Was that the case today? I'd say no. So let's hear you, Bobby. If you're there, how did we win this one? That's the question I want to ask you.
Well, big up, guys.
A big up to you.
You know, I went off, I did a few things, and I came back towards the very, very end and listened to Jason and Ben about this game. So I heard all the penalty drama, or the not penalty, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's nothing here that surprises me, and I'm not overexcited. We are a work in progress. This is what I've always said, and I've said this to the point where I just find myself repeating myself, not just saying here, but this is what to expect. This up and down, inconsistency. People complaining about Gallagher. Is a young player developing as well, with a developing team, with an injured team, with a unrehearsed team. And Gallagher is jaded. This is what's happened to this kid. He's played back to back to back to back in the Premier League, and he's going through a jaded period. The red card will probably do him some good. He's going to miss a game, or is it two? I don't know. Yeah, some will say, "Oh, well, he doesn't play all the time for England in the international break." But the whole mental side of it, going, training, preparing yourself to play, is all
Mhm.
part of it. He's not switched off. And this is why you have a squad. This is why you rotate. You can't play the same player unless they are an extremely exceptional player, game after game after game after game. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to, it took people like Manchester City's what's their defensive midfield guy, um
Rodrigo.
oh, sorry.
Rodrigo.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
Rodri. Rodri.
Rodri, that's correct. I mean, it took him a while. He's now a seasoned, mature professional, and it's only when you get to that level of game that you can do that. I mean, crikey, they really suffer when he's not there. So it takes a long time, and these kids they're kids. People will say, well, Gallagher's no kid. He's 23 years old. He's still a developing player. This is a first proper season for all
He's a
this
fit,
team.
but he's not a fittest. He's not. He doesn't count as fittest. Roger, does he?
No, he's not a fetus. No, he's not a fetus. The fetus is the people like
Gusto,
Ugochukwu, and
yeah.
believe it or not, even Lavia. We haven't seen him play yet. We've got all this expectation on a 19-year-old. 19 being the operative word. Look, we've got to be patient. Honestly, for me, that hate seeing anything negative about Chelsea. I've resigned to patience and just getting through the season, getting injuries back, getting them used to playing each other. This is the model we've chosen now. The Abramovich model is not there anymore. The introduction of highly skilled, highly seasoned, highly prepared players. We're going through grassroots. We're going through youth. We're going through infants. We're going through players that have never played in the Premier League before, vis-a-vis the likes of Jackson, who's young and new to the league. I think in many ways even new to football. He's not been a professional footballer that long. And so these are all the teething problems we'll have. On the positive note, I will take the positive. We went down to 10 men and still managed to win a game. We are on the right track. It's going to take time. I've been very impatient in the past. I always used to say, well, you don't need time. You're at Chelsea Football Club. Well, I'm afraid in this instance, with this team, with the injuries, with the lack of rehearsal, I know you like that word, coach, but it's
I
true,
love
the
it.
lack of rehearsal, you need time. We've got to have time. The coach did well. He did some clever substitutions that people don't give him credit for, especially when Mitoma, surprise, surprise, who was supposed to be all injured and all that, um, came on and was giving Disasi some problems. We played with four centre backs, no wing backs, no left or right backs. Why? Because of injury and suspension. Look, we are very, very, very much a work in progress. I won't hold my breath against Man United. It'll be a question of which Chelsea will we see? How many players do we have coming back from injury? So much expectation is on Nkunku's head. This guy hasn't played all season for the team. Even when he gets fit, he's got to get match fit. Then he's got to get rehearsed and integrated into the team. It's going to take him a long time. That's why I'm not even looking at the season. I think by the time all these injuries are back, all these players are rehearsed, used to playing with each other, the season will be over. That's just how it is. Please God, let it not take 2 seasons, but we are a work in progress. We're going from improvement to improvement to improvement. And that's why the ownership was intelligent enough to give out such long contracts, because they suspected that. They suspected that it may not happen instantly. Now, It might have done if they were all fit, but the injuries have certainly dealt us a humongous blow. We've not had a team all seasons, guys, and this is what we're seeing. But congratulations to us. Enjoy the 3 points. They were very, very important 3 points. I'm happy we won, and the work continues. That's just all I gotta say. The work continues. We are a work in progress.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bobby. I knew you'd be happy. Uncle Justin, I'm going to come to you immediately because clearly you believe in because you have a podcast. And if you don't mind, when you get a chance to share the link to that particular podcast in the chat so people can go drop a like, even if they don't have the time to watch. Let's talk about Robert Sanchez. He's gone under the radar, but he's been brilliant for us. You could argue there are a few games that we could have lost had it not been for his brilliance between the sticks. I think we may have signed a player. You could say he may well be one of the signings of this past transfer window for us because he's grown. He's become better by each game. And Roger, sorry, I had to go to Justice because he had to leave to go get ready for his podcast. Let's hear you, Uncle Justice.
Yeah, no problem.
I thought he was actually kept us in the game. He had a couple really good saves toward the end. Neither one of those goals is his fault. The first goal is Caldwell's fault, and the second goal is Caldwell's fault. Sorry, Cobham at its best, right? Left-footed players, you show down to their right foot. You don't let them inside, Caldwell. That's basic. And you don't let a player get around you, in front of you, to flick a header on. You don't do that. Again, basic stuff. But Sanchez, you still talk about his distribution, but neither one of those goals, any goalkeeper in the world saves. The first goal is in the corner netting, in the side netting. Nobody's saving that. The second goal,
because he was at the other end.
Yeah, because he was in the proper position. It was just a better offensive play because our left back let a left-footed player come in on his left foot instead of showing him down the line. Okay, neither here nor there. Robert Sanchez is not an issue with this team. It's not like he's letting howlers in like Ederson had for the first goal today. Ederson, one of the best keepers in the league. He just let a ball go underneath his arm for Tottenham to score, and it was within 10 minutes of the game. Sanchez ain't doing that. So what's happened is his defense is letting him down. Not today. They were pretty good considering we went down to 10 men. And
I'd like you before you leave to also talk about how well our backline did today. Disasi was just so brilliant, but Yashile was excellent too. All of them, even Colwell, he did well too, in my opinion. But I understand where you're coming from. But go ahead.
Games are won and lost in moments, right? So you can have a great game and have bad moments and cost your team a game. Everybody knows that. So fine. He was fairly decent, but those two things, you have to work on those. You cannot continue to let that happen. But, people were talking about Thiago Silva because of his error last week, being too old and needs to go. The man was absolutely brilliant today.
He was. And Roger knew that was going to happen. Roger did say during the pregame show, talk about him all you want. He's our best player right now, no matter how you see it. But go ahead, Justas.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Badia Shield looks... One week is already shaken off and looks like he's back to what he was last year. Please, because that guy is our starting left center back, not Levi Caldwell. Levi Caldwell is not even close defensively to Benoit Badiashile. I don't care about distribution if he can't defend.
Here's why I wouldn't blame him that much. He's not a left back. I've argued that. I think essentially he'd do better, in my opinion. And he's still very young. I think he's a good player. His potential is high, and he will keep developing. But go ahead with what you were saying, Uncle Justice.
Well, that's fair. But the goal he gave up, he was defending a player in the box. Oh, that's what a center back does, right? So I'm not going to give him a pass for that. These are just some things you need to work on as a young player. Fine, but the hype before the season, he's our starting left center back. He should be starting over Badiashile. He's one of our, the best. But this is the Cobham hype. Understand, we only have one good player from Cobham, It's Reece James. Everybody else is not that level. One last thing. You want to know about why the ball was a drop ball? Because
go ahead.
I'll just let you know. Because the ref called a penalty on the field. So the result of the play was not that the ball went out. The result of the play was a penalty. Okay? So when VAR overturns the penalty, there is no corner because that action never happened. The action stops when the penalty is called. So it becomes a drop ball for the defensive team. So it was absolutely 100% the right call, and they did it absolutely 100% the right way. It's because people don't know the rules that they go, well, why wasn't there a corner? Because he called a penalty on the field and VAR overturned him. People thought that VAR wanted him to go check and see if there was a penalty. No, he pointed to the spot. Okay? Yeah. That ends that entire play. A whole action when he does that. So it's absolutely 100% the right way to do that thing. So again, if you don't know the rules, I invite you to go look up the rules, because a lot of this stuff will be solved through education, right, Coach? You're a big educator.
Yeah, definitely. Education is important.
Education. So educate yourself on the rules of the game, how things are called, and maybe some of this stuff become more clear, and we can focus on what we need to be focusing on is getting players that we need in this team and getting a style of play together so we can move forward in the second half, because we need to make top four. That is a definite thing we need to do. So with that said, big up to everybody on the panel that's in the chat. I got to go out and do a podcast, but Coach, as always, thank you for providing such an excellent platform for us to come on and give our opinion.
More thanks to you for always coming out to you give us your 2 cents, and please don't forget to share the link to that particular platform podcast and your YouTube channel so people can go subscribe and check what I added to the description sections. This section of this particular video. Let me know if you'd like me to make any changes to it or if you're fine with it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And Jesse is saying Gallagher starts our press, but today we saw that even with 10 men, we can play without press. That's just a ball. Wow. A lot of people will be celebrating Gallagher as a red card. Should we consider signing a petition to encourage more noises at the breach? I don't know if that will move a needle, but yeah, the home match going fans, I think they've been subpar in my opinion. Our coach, Uncle Justice, has a better build-up play and don't do tappings. Just saying, big up to you too. Much love to you. Thank you for having a go at me. If you didn't, I'd ask whether that's you. Big up, Bobby, 23. Yep, Bobby, I know you get that. That's from Constantin Dante. Okay, what is that? Bobby mixed up the scripts accidentally. You could say that. Let's see what else we have here. Connor has been our best of the 3 midfielders so far this season, in my opinion. Yet people still say he's not good enough. That's the least of my argument. Here's the thing: I paid attention. If I'm watching, I watch games attentively. I'm not saying he's a bad player, and I'm not going to get into that argument right now. The way he played before he got that yellow, he could have been carded actually even before that first yellow. That was why immediately he got that, I put out a post on Twitter saying, take off Gallagher now before he gets a second yellow. I knew the second was coming. You just knew if you followed that game attentively, you'd know the way he played even before he got that first yellow, the second was imminent. It was only a matter of time. And like Roger said, he gave the ref, you can say, the opportunity to decide whether he stays on the pitch or not. It was a risk. I wouldn't even wait till the half. But the manager probably don't see the game. We see it. He's preoccupied with other issues that he probably was seeing during the game. But that's by the way we move on. But that's just my opinion anyway. Good evening. I'm very happy for the team. We won. More importantly, and believe me, if you watch it again, you see we actually did well. But ill discipline is an issue. You'd still see things that showed, we have a lot of kids, and it would take time for them to mature. And you can say play cautiously sometimes. That Roadrunner has a perfect attendance record. Oh, wait, here's I've seen you praise him. I've seen you praise him, but you're quick to turn against him. You can say in times of such, you can say such of what happened today. We need Ivan Toney as soon as possible. Get him in January. We're not going anywhere with Jackson. He wasn't poor. He did well and nearly had an assist, if not for a brilliant defending by a Brighton defender. On out of form, Nkunku is miles better than Jackson. Mudryk as a false nine did a better job than Jackson did the whole day. And we all did see what Mudryk is capable of doing today. The fact that we had 4 CBs when we went down 10 men helped us sitting back more. You could argue that. It helped us defend better. But Disasi surprised me today. He did well in the right back position. Coach, I hope Chelsea make an attempt to appeal Gallagher's red card so they can increase the ban. Just go away. And I was reading it thinking he means well. I didn't know he was just go away, man. Colwell's fault for sure showed he's not the left back, and that's why I'm not going to blame him that much. We have to be sincere. Amazing. One soccer's amazing indeed. It was a crazy game, as chaotic as the Man City game. Maybe not as chaotic. Gallagher let me down. I said he will score. But he bagged red instead. At least he did something. Sanchez is not innocent, justice, but he's got 8 or 9 saves today. I respect him. He did well, but he did some stuff too that showed he was, you could say, you could say this. I say he was overwhelmed by the fact that he was playing against his former teammates. Or former club, in my opinion. Who starts next game? We'll get to that in a bit. Palmer starts. He will start the next game. He's rested now. Gallagher was my man of the match. He really took one for the team, and the greater good. He will also be my man of the match for the next game too, by simply not being there. I knew that was what you were going to say. But that's by the way. Keep moving, people. Badiashile showed he can do the Silva role. Yep. He's like for like in terms of Silva. He's come on the ball. Very intelligent player. Gallagher will learn from this, but he had done well. Honestly, he's done well. One of our best players this season so far. As bad as you may think he is, let's be honest there. Justice, that's correct. The ref already called a PK, not a corner. So the review overruled him, and that's a drop ball for Chelsea. So, yeah, let's educate ourselves on the rules, even though I didn't know that was the case. Why does Justice hate Gallagher? I wouldn't say hate. He hasn't used term that I would say he hates him. But he's entitled to his opinion. Disasi, Badiashile, Colwell is our best of 3 in that back line. They all did very well, in my opinion. And Uncle Justice has shared the link to his YouTube channel, and he has a podcast coming out soon in less than an hour. Let's go support him there. And thank you for 32 likes here and 1,760 views already for this short show. We're not even 1 hour yet. Please go subscribe to Uncle Justice's YouTube channel. Let him I sent you. The link is there, and don't miss that particular podcast because it will be about this game, the game against Brighton, and you will enjoy it. So please, let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Congratulations, everyone. We escaped with 3 points. You can say, I think that's a good way to put it. And like Uncle Jessa said, we wanted to lose it. Mabasta 05, big up, coach. Chelsea should sign us in, man. I feel like Jackson isn't good enough to be our main forward. I'll put it this way. I like to put it this way. Jackson alone will not suffice, but Jackson will come good, in my opinion. Coach got cooked by Justice. Not listen. I like debates, and that's why we have a show. If we all agree, we don't have a show. Listen, no matter what you say to me, as long as you're not personal, causing my family or my wife, oh, my mother, I'm okay. I'll always try to present the counter argument, so we're fine. But I know you're joking too. Mr. Captain there. Jackson created one of our goals with his head as well, and he could have had 2 assists today. Yep. Here's the Spotify link. Please go also follow Uncle Jesse's podcast on Spotify. Let's help him get a lot of subscribers there, and on YouTube channel also. Coach, he did the same thing against Leicester City last season. He doesn't learn. That's why we call him because all he sees is a ball, and he thinks he's playing fetch. Just go away. And check out Uncle Jesse's YouTube channel. Please go subscribe. Let's help him get to 1,000 as soon as possible. He deserves to get 1,000. And we have Uncle Jesse's 8 English players. Oh, much an English player. Wow, for the last 2-3 years. Wow. Okay. I hope we don't continue to experience indiscipline in all our games. I think that would be an issue for a while. Yeah, if we're being honest, last week James and Kuku, today is a corner, and and you could argue Kaisedo could have been on the list too. If you love Gala, don't go listen to Justice YouTube channel. And Vara Iswara, look another, nice to see you, brother. It's been a minute. I hope your absence is just because you've been busy. Other than that, I'm gonna go straight to Roger. Let's hear you. The performance of the back line today, in my opinion, even Levi Colwell did well. He got a goal, even beyond the fact that he got a goal. I think defensively he did well too. And we have to be at the back of our mind that he's not a left back, but he fulfilled that role very well. Let's hear you, Roger. The back line today, they were excellent. The midfield, Enzo was excellent too, but Kaisedo was missing, and in my opinion, shouldn't have finished that game. But let's hear you, Roger.
Yeah. Now, I've got a few things I want to say. First of all, I think that when someone says, I don't think a player should play for our team ever again, that's not exactly love right there. It's like there's a level of, or a lack of objectivity that I think is quite apparent. He could have a hat trick, and in Jester's eyes, he's never going to be good enough. He's just never going to be. And yet his stats are some of the best in the top of Europe. So he has 4 assists, and yet on Mitchie's show, when I listened to it last week or 4 or 5 days ago, he said, "Yeah, but
he's created more big chances for us than any other player."
Yeah, exactly. So I respect Chester, but no matter what Gallagher does, it's never going to be good enough. Period. So there's lacking some realistic objectivity, in my opinion. I criticize, Sterling often. And quite frequently, but yet when he plays well, I stipulate as such, and I give him kudos, and that's not the case thus far from what I've heard. With regards to Colwell, yeah, he should have shown him the byline, not the inside. But then again, Badiashile was equally the same distance away. If you watch the replay, Badiashile stood off him. He didn't attack him, and when there's 2-on-1. That shot should never even have been allowed to take place. So you can say that he's not good enough, Cobham, and etc. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like Cobham players. Period. It seems that way.
I think in the case of Colwell, I think he was saying that you just pointing out his mistakes in the game. I
got news for you. I can prosecute a case for any player, Maradona, Pele. I could get enough evidence and prosecute a case to say, look at this evidence of field of work. They are quite poor.
I didn't even see that mistake. I have to be honest. I didn't
see
it.
Do you understand? You can prosecute. Anyone can prosecute any player because, newsflash, no player has a perfect game. Every player, regardless of level or expertise, they make mistakes because it's a round orb. It's moving. You're moving. There's going to be errors. Yes. Some players play at a very high level, but you can, and anyone can, make a case to prosecute to say that this player is quite poor. It's that simple. It really is. I can build a case for every single player in the Premier League to say he's inept, and I can back it up with statistics for the most part also. So because you can manipulate statistics.
Tell us about the backline overall. I think they were the 7 greats.
I thought Disasi played solid. I thought he was quite strong. I thought Badiashile actually was culpable for giving the ball away on several occasions. and he was Bambi on ice on a few occasions. So,
but overall, the back line still did well. You agree?
Yes and no. As I said, I'm looking at it from a goalkeeper's perspective. That shot should have never been able to take place. Also, yeah, I agree. I think Sanchez has played recently.
Yeah, however, exactly. I wanted you to go.
Hold on.
The chairman of the Goalkeepers Union. Go ahead to talk about Sanchez. I'm not cutting you off. Go ahead.
He nearly conceded a goal when he wasn't concentrating. The ball went under his foot. That was nearly a huge error.
Had the ball been pissy out, that would have been a goal, right?
Yeah, that's a goal. I mean, he's not perfect. Let's be honest. He has made some exceptionally good saves. I'd say the last month to 6 weeks, etc. Don't get me wrong. I think he's played better than I anticipated. He's been playing, but he's also made a lot of mistakes. Like if you look at the last game, flopping on the floor, and the only difference is that those errors didn't lead to goals. I mean, he's quite weak in the air, which I'm really surprised at based on his size.
Is he really?
Yeah, have a look at him. Have a look at the last game. Have a look at the errors he made with regards to crossing on corners. He goes to the floor very easily, and the ref waves away that there's no foul. So you can't do that. You have to stay on your feet. You can't rely on the refereeing to give a foul for you. You just can't. You just seriously can't. And listen, he's not perfect. He's not an elite keeper. He's not a bad keeper either. But he's got vulnerabilities. There's no doubt about it.
Do you see him improving? Because he's improving.
He's
a lot by the games. Yeah,
he's still young. And you know what? It's like, I believe Jess or someone mentioned about Edison making a mistake. Yeah, every keeper, as I said, you can prosecute a case for virtually every player to make him or her look really bad. But he's not elite. But can he get better? Yes, of course he can. He's not even reached his peak yet, theoretically. So yeah, I believe he can improve. He can also regress in the same way. He's also got errors in him, and he's not that great with his feet. If you notice his distribution, not the greatest, but not the worst either. But he's certainly not elite in that regard. There are concerns with him, but he has potential. Don't get me wrong; he has a ceiling that can improve. Is it possible?
So you think he will get better?
No, I said he can. I didn't say he will. Only time will tell. I can't predict the future. I couldn't tell you. However, he has improved from his first 3 or 4 games with Chelsea. I think he's settled in, and he's settled in with the back line, especially when you consider the back line hasn't exactly been consistent, right? It's been a lot of changes in that line. So I thought Silva played well, Disasi played well. As I said, these 2 youngsters, Colwell and Badiashile, they didn't have a great game. They made errors that led to goals. We're leaking goals, and I know that we're down to 10 men. I get it, but
I'm still going to say this. I don't blame Colwell too much. He's not a left back. Let's start from there.
Yeah. If you want, why don't you swap positions? We'll never know. But then put Badiashile on the left and then Colwell in the centre. Then we don't know. All I know is that when that first goal is conceded, it was Badiashile's fault equally as much as it was Colwell's, because he didn't close down. He was equally as distant. In fact, he was possibly even closer if you look at it. So unacceptable from both of them, by the way, not just Badiashile. That should never be allowed.
Yeah. Roger, you've been talking about our defenders not getting goals. They got 2 today, and all the people you've talked about not getting goals, they all got goals today.
And it's
Enzo Fernandez and 2 defenders.
Yeah, and they were basically headers that were left alone inside the 6-yard box that they weren't.
Give them credit, Roger. I understand your point. Yeah.
Listen. Have a look. Watch the replays again. They weren't even contested. You look at Enzo's, his nearest person to him was his own player. I think it was Disasi. I'd have to look who it was.
It was a Colwell. Colwell actually nearly got him to make a mistake to miss it.
Yeah, so and he didn't even leave the ground, I don't believe. He's 4 yards out. It's a tap in. Yeah,
but
and
at least he made a good run. He made a good run.
Yeah, and he actually executed a very good penalty down the middle. That was an excellent penalty. I will give him kudos for that. But yeah, it's like, but this is, this is the norm. You know, don't forget, it's because of the long corner kicks that made them put the ball back into play and caused Brighton problems with regards to remanning.
At the same time, I want you to see the last comment from Dante.
Oh, I don't have my glasses. What's he saying?
Roger's cranky something to...
I can't read it for me. I'd have to get my glasses.
Roger's cranky pants today.
No, I'm not cranky. I'm actually not.
No, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he knows.
No.
Go ahead.
I'm not. I'm actually not that happy, to be honest with you.
I'm happy
with us. No, I'm not that happy.
Oh,
I'm
you're
happy
not? Okay.
No, I'm happy we got 3 points. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to put things out of proportion in that regard, but it could have. This game could have gone a lot better. Could have gone a lot worse. You're right. Kaisedo, lucky, you know.
He was lucky, yeah.
Yeah. But then again, you can say the same for what's his name? For James Milner, James Milner. That's simple. You know, that we did as usual, just like at every game this year. We seem to do some things very well, and conversely, some things rather poorly. We lack continuity. We lack consistency.
Wow.
But this is to be expected because of the youth. We're a very young team.
Yeah.
And we
the fact
lack,
that we're not properly rehearsed yet.
Yeah, that to a certain extent, and we lack leadership all over the field. You know, there's a reason why most teams don't have a squad that's on the average 23 years of age. Mm-hmm. It's because you do need leadership all over the field, and I think it's coming to bear. We're seeing this lack of leadership because of the lack of discipline, the amount of errors, the propensity with which we make errors. This is because of A, inexperience, and B, lack of leadership.
Yeah. Let me give those in the chat the microphone a bit. I'll come back and we'll hear Bobby talk about the defensive line, and then we will start picking up the players one by one and looking at the numbers. I want to say quickly, I don't know how we can have 2,322 views and we just have just about 36 likes. I think we can do better than 36 likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. And Mitchie Boy, if you haven't, go check out Mitchie Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. And the Bluetooth again, please do help me share the link to Mitchie Boy's YouTube channel. So when I get to it, I'll talk about it. I am happy that Enzo scored a brace. It was his first Chelsea goal 11 months after he signed for us. It took him 11 months, and that's good. 11 months is not bad for him to score his first goal. Some people took years. Again, he does more than just score goals for us. Then someone kicked the ball and get the yellow again. Who was that? Was that Jackson? I can't quite remember. But it was a test game that it's easy to miss a lot. So I need to watch it again. AB, nice to see you. Big up to you too, AB. I hope you're doing well. And Varanawa is saying we considered 2 goals, coach. We need more motivation. Please, you're trying to get me to mention that name, and I'm not going to do that, bro. I will not do that. There's a heavy dose of sarcasm and humor. Yeah, I'm paying attention to that. Down to 10 men, though. Yeah, I think that was good. 10 men, and we still got a penalty. We'll attack them also. Down to 10 men. Yep, I did that. I think I've addressed that. Jackson is doing very well for us. We are underestimating how what he brings how he brings the ball down and his close control. He's good on the ball, don't get me wrong. My argument has not been that Jackson isn't good enough. It's just that Jackson alone will not suffice. I think he will improve. He will do better for us. But let's see. The goals need to be coming from everywhere, and that's what we want. Today, none of our attackers scored. Yeah, but defenders scored in the midfield. That's what you call a team. That will help us go a long way. Today, I'm so happy, guys. It's good to see a great to sip a great wine or drink a great wine, or you mean win maybe. Define banging anywhere else in regards to Jackson. Just go away, please. Don't get me to say such. The Gala hate Israel has nothing to do with football. We've moved on beyond that, really. And the blue beautiful game. He's saying don't mind red cards just as long as it produces the grit and resilience we saw in the second half. Yeah, like I said before, spirit. Yeah, I did see the spirited performance and resilience. In my opinion, the authorities are clearly haters. Haters and will never give us the benefit of the doubt. So we have to adapt. Yeah. Yeah, if you play well enough, even the bad officiating will not be enough to lead to you losing a game. Imagine Pele at Chelsea back in the 1960s or 70s. Okay. I'm not sure. Relax, Roger, says Constantin Dante. Let's see what else we have here. People need to stop overhyping Badiashile. So much he's not that good. You're entitled to your opinion. For me, I think he's an excellent defender. He's an intelligent player, and the closest thing to Thiago Silva from all the players we have. Badiashile is cool as a cucumber, bro. Well composed on the ball. Still got room to improve, but he's cool and composed. I like him. He's an excellent player, in my opinion. But everybody, you have the right to disagree or to think otherwise. If Gallagher didn't play as much as he did, we wouldn't be criticizing him so much. You can argue that he's tired. Honestly, as much as I don't think he's the best player at Chelsea, I don't think he's the worst either. But I think he looks like if he was tired today. He was making some decisions that I don't believe. I didn't expect to see from him. Roger Cranky Pants, I've read that one. And the sub to Chelsea Mitchy Boys YouTube channel, my bro, the beautiful game has shared the link to Mitchy Boys YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Subscribe. Let's help Chelsea Mitchy Boy get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. More importantly, he's a nice person. Jackson has a 7 goal in 13 games. Goal and assist in 13 games. Not bad for a player that receives a lot of criticism. I think he has a lot of good. He just needs to improve. He could have had 2 assists today, and he did very well. We are underestimated Jackson. That's the first. I didn't say that. But I think he will come good. He has to do better, and I think that will occur with time. We would have won comfortably today if Gallagher didn't get sent off. You could argue that if he didn't get sent off because we were going at them, and XG of 1.93 of that's 1.02. Even though we were a man down, to me that's encouraging. Can someone please check on Jackson's whereabouts, please? I hope he hasn't paid a certain. Yeah, you go away. Just go away, man. Jackson needs to score. I think he will. The goals will come. What I'm begging the manager not to do is not to try to change Jackson. Let Jackson be Jackson and walk around that. I think we'll get the best out of him with that. Can Bolly introduce the US sports style cheering guests to fan base? Jackson got some CVs to get him to do well. Cheerleaders, you mean? We need Jackson to score on the pitch, not just off the pitch. Wow, leave the guy alone, please. And I'm not gonna be your messenger here. Let's hear you, Bobby. What do you make of the performance of our defensive line today? To me, they were excellent on the day. They weren't perfect, but they were near excellent in my opinion. They defended resolutely. But that's just me. But let's hear you, Bobby, if you're there.
Yeah, I'm here, Coach. Yet again, I repeat myself. We are so much so a work in progress. I think by default, probably the fact that we did have 4 centre backs probably helped us look and indeed be resolute where we needed to, and to be able to hold on to the scoreline in the end. Yeah, because I'm not sure if we genuinely had our left and right backs, they would have been as effective. We had good physicality at the back today, and that always helps. And of course, defenders will default to their instincts, which is to defend, and that's what they had to do. Look, I'm like Roger. I can't say, and I'm not going to say that I am, doing cartwheels over the performance. I think the performance was very encouraging. I think we've done a lot of things to show that we are progressing, many sort of landmark things. This Man City performance, which we came from behind a couple of times. This performance, which we won with 10 men, and a few other sort of more resounding wins. These are signs of a developing team with talent, and that will get better. The temperamental issue is definitely down to age. Even Jackson, this guy, as I've said, he's barely played much football. Not to, he's just started really. Not to mention the fact that he's not been in the Premier League before. So I'm prepared to give him a season of grace. I really am. I think he's going to get better as he gets more used to things. I don't. I've even forgotten what was your question. What was your question in about
The
the
performance
defense?
of the back line, they were the saving grace, in my opinion. They did so well.
Yeah, they clearly were, and
You can also
obviously
talk about
Thiago.
Sanchez too.
Yeah, I'm coming to him. Thiago Silva, clearly being the man he is, set out to make up for what he did at Newcastle. We can't really afford those sort of errors. He needs not to dwell on the ball. He knows the Premier League now, but he made up for it, and you can't count. You can't ask for more, and somebody making a mistake and making amends afterwards. Sanchez, yet again, we're hoping, aren't we? It's all about a matter of hope rather than certainty. He's not elite. We will have to look at that situation at some point. And I fully understand why Petrovic hasn't come into the fray yet. He needs to settle in. Who knows? He's moving from one country to another. He may have a family. You don't know what the issues are behind the scenes that has made it such that he's being given a lot of time before he's even shown at all, even in the somewhat minor cup games. But his time will come. We'll see him. Is he going to be the answer? Well, as we've said, that's left to be seen. At the moment, it doesn't look that way. But Sanchez does need to do better. Yes, he saved us a lot today. He's a good goalkeeper, but he's not elite. And somebody made a very valid point. I don't know if it was Roger or on another platform that I was listening to, and they said that look, even all these players, these keepers that we look at as elite, I think Edison, Allison as well. I believe they kind of threw a few howlers in their first season at in the Premier League. Now, not that this is the first season for Sanchez, but he's not had a pre-season, and this is what people, the people's memories are very short. Sanchez hasn't had a preseason. People are criticizing Kaisedo this, Kaisedo that. He hasn't had a preseason. In a team he hasn't really been rehearsed with sufficiently. So, and then he's played in a position that wasn't his strength. So, of course, he's going to have a bit of a damp squid of a game. As I've said, I'm not doing cartwheels, but I'm not shedding tears either.
Yeah, I'm gonna give those in the chat the microphone. Come back onto the panel. Let's see what player. Okay, Isaac. Isaac. Football Club. Is on the panel. It's been a minute. He's been a very busy guy. But let me catch up with the chat. I'll come back. Let's see how Isaac get his thoughts on the game. Then we'll take a few look at the numbers of a few players, and then we can go watch the second half. Which it's looking. Is this second half? When's the game going to finish? Oh, 85th minute. Yeah, it's almost done. But that's, by the way, I am happy that we don't have Man City in the third of the FA Cup. We lost to them last season. Chelsea will face Preston. Is it Preston? Preston North End at home for the first time in 22 years. The Saints, we last played against them. Hopefully, it'll be an easy win for us. I think we're going to win the cup. A cup this season. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes will go a long way. And Dante and Mitchie boys in the house. Mitchie, the Bluetooth game have helped share the link to your YouTube channel. Hopefully, people will go check it out. So we'll help you get to 2,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Dante here saying We need to support him. He may have an addiction now. Chances that that's the case, but that's the list of my concerns right now. As long as he plays well, I'll take that. A 3-2 City, yeah, I'm seeing that too. Let's see what else we have here. Coach, you would be proud of Grealish's goal. He was a tap-in. I'd like to see it. Man City, they usually don't miss tap-ins. That's not a tap-in. That's a fantastic run and positioning. So probably I'll watch it myself and conclude. Sports midfielder created that opportunity. They should have given Kante money. They should have given Kante money for Gallagher or maybe even Kane. Oh, you mean Kane? Kane's money for Gallagher, so to speak. Coach, what is your score prediction for the Chelsea versus Man United game? I have to look at the statistics. I like predicting after looking at the numbers. It helps me get a lot. You can say a lot correct, but numbers don't tell you what the outcome would definitely be, but it suggests. And you, in most cases, you'd be correct if you pay attention to the numbers. And I did say, even though did I predict the score for the Chelsea Brighton game? I didn't know, but I knew there were going to be goals. But I went by the last 5 games, and had I gone by the entire season, I believe that they were our scorers. But I went by the last 5 games. We scored a total of 11 games, and they've scored 11 goals, and they've scored 8. But I knew we were going to concede, but I was hopeful. I was confident that even if they scored, that we're going to score them. And that happened. That's how the numbers help. Yeah, I can't predict until I look at the numbers. We'll do a prediction show before then. Let's see what else we have here. Edgen Kovac coming on. I want Spurs to lose. So I don't want Kovac to do well in this game. For me, I would say either a 1-0 win or a 2-1 win or maybe a 1-1 draw. We'll find out. I don't think it'd be easy as a lot of people think it would be, because I think we broke Spurs. I think we did. And a lot of people said it that day. We broke them. And it turns out Postecoglou is a very stubborn manager. He's bent on using his preferred approach, doesn't compromise, and that's an issue. The same issue I had with Mauricio Sarri. Gallagher and Enzo should make a way from Nkunku and Lavia. Enzo still starts. I don't think, as long as he's fit enough to play, I think he starts. Spurs haven't been the same since Chelsea beat them 4-1. Yeah, and a lot of people knew at the time that would be the case. People will have 2,732 likes and just 38 likes. We should be doing better than that, people. Let's get the likes up. Roger, coming back to you, I know you're probably paying attention to the Man City Sports game, and I don't blame you. Let me ask you this. Anything else you want to talk about, or would you like us to look at the particular players' numbers? You let us know. I'm waiting for you, Roger.
No, I'd have to say that, shockingly, I agree with everything Bobby said for the most part.
Yeah, I'm shocked, right?
Yeah, he nailed most of everything I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it wasn't the worst game. It wasn't the best game, but we came out with 3 points. Yeah, I'd like to look at some of the stats. I'd be interested.
Overall stats, you mean?
Yeah, and individual if you want to do it. I don't know what you want.
No, but we can do both. Let's go for overall stats, then we'll come back. Where do we have it? Let's go here. Usually this place has more. Okay. Possession is nothing. And even the manager did say something to that effect before that game during his presser. He knew they were going to keep the ball more than us, and it looks like we actually do better whenever the opposition team keeps the ball better than us. XG 1.02 and us 1.93. So this aspect suggests that, yeah, it's a deserved win for us, even though we finished the game with 10 men. Total shots, 18 of theirs to 8 of ours. Wow. Shots on target, 9 of theirs to 5 of us. Big chances, 2 of us and 0 of theirs. So
and
that's
by the way,
Coach,
at half-time, I took a screenshot at half-time. We had 43%. They had 57. 4 shots to 4 shots, 2 for us, 1 for them on target. Corners, we had 5, they had 1. So
that suggests we were better in the first half.
Affirmative.
Wow. So you can say I think if I watch it again, I will learn more. What the heck? They're saying 3-3 for the Spurs game. I knew it was going to be a high-scoring game, but I don't know. My goodness. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, they
Let's
just
go on.
scored.
Big chances. Yeah, big chances. 2 of us and 0 of theirs. That's telling. The fact that we created 2 big chances and they had 0. Big chances means we took 2 of our big chances. Yeah. Accurate passes, we don't need that. Fouls committed, 16 of us and 12 of theirs. Yeah, the lack of discipline on our path, we knew that was the case. Corners of 5 of us and 8 of theirs. Anything else you want us to look at here, Roger? Let's see. Nothing again, nothing else here. Okay, total shots 18, 8 shots off target. They have 5 off target. We have 3 off target shots on target. 5, 9 of this. Block shots of 4. They blocked 4. Wow. Hit the woodwork 0. Shots inside the box. They had 9. We had 5. Shots outside the box. 9 of this and 3 of us. Go ahead, Roger. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. So Kulusevski just equalised. It was a header, but he actually missed the header, came off his shoulder and went in. When you're lucky, you're lucky.
Yeah, he will not be cancelled because he used his shoulders. But it's funny though. If you don't buy tickets, you're never going to win a lottery. He tried.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like if he does that 100 times, trust me, it doesn't go in off the shoulder.
But I want them to lose, really. I want them to lose. City, wow, it looks like they can't defend. As far as I haven't been the same since Chelsea beat them, you can argue that's the case. Is Roger related to Bobby?
Brothers from another mother.
They're not. They're not, but they're in the same gang in terms of panelists. Like and subscribe to our sister channel. Sorry?
Exactly.
What did you say? I didn't get it. Oh, okay.
Soul Brothers.
Soul Brothers. Yeah, Blues. Is it Blues Brothers? Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'll come to you, Isaac, in a bit. Just give me a few seconds here. Like and subscribe to our sister channel, which is starting to pop. Yep, we do every week. We do Premier League predictions. We want to add other leagues, and it's been doing relatively well, but that will grow with time as long as we start doing that consistently. 3-3. What a game. Chances are there will be more goals there. Okay, Isaac, let's come to you. What do you make of the Chelsea game? And welcome back to the panel. It's been a minute. I understand you've been busy, like you told me, and bills don't pay themselves. Man has to work. What do you make of this game, so to speak? How did we win this one? But let's hear you.
Yeah. Good to be back. I've been so busy, as you know.
Yeah, totally understandable, brother.
But I've been watching you. Don't worry. I've been watching. But,
I've been following your content too. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you know what? This game, Chelsea and Brighton, yes, we win. I'm happy, of course. 3 points, right? You have to. No doubt about that. I don't care what we played, if we played badly or if we played good. As long as we take 3 points, that's a good thing. Everybody wants that. But you can see some mistakes here and there, and I think discipline needed there. Gallagher, I don't know what he was doing there. That was just very stupid, to go that was not smart. And Rhys James got a red card last week, and then he got a red card. And just like, what are you doing, guys, up there? So that need to be fixed. I think Pochettino is the dad, is the father in that house. This guy is a young player, so he must be a dad in the house and take care of the things. So these children have to listen to him. He's a big father in there. So I hope to see changes, and Man United next. I hope to see that. And
So sorry, guys. I'm so sorry to cut in, but what happened to Man City just now? If that happened to Chelsea, I would be incandescent.
Yep.
What the hell is wrong with these referees? No, I would be seething. I'll be uncontrollable. That is one of the most disgusting decisions I have ever seen. I'm sorry to cut short, but
it looks like the referees are getting worse.
Game, you'll know what I'm talking about. That is revolting. Oh my God!
It's hard to explain, Bobby.
Oh, disgusting. And I'm not a City fan, and I'm seething. You can imagine how they feel. Oh, sorry to cut in.
It's all
Go
right.
ahead. Go ahead, Isaac.
I'm watching the same game too. I'm looking up here. It's just but yeah, back on Chelsea. So we need to fix so many things, and the process. I don't like the way it process, But if you see the Newcastle game and you see the Brighton game, and you can see when we are going through the process. As I said, I don't like the way it process, but it is what it is. We are going through process, and I believe somewhere things is going to turn around. We're going to start winning every game. This is what Chelsea need to do. And the big thing again is discipline. If we get that thing sorted about discipline, I think we'll start winning games, and I think we'll see results getting in. And experience. So January window transfer needs some experienced players in. I just hate to get young players now. I just don't like that. We have enough young players, and that is it. We need to get experience. If we do that in January, I think we'll end up finishing one of European competition. I think we end up finishing maybe in a Europa League, maybe Conference League. I can see that. Maybe somewhere, you never know. Football is just crazy sometimes. You never know. We finish in top 4. We get the Champions League. But the many things I've looked, discipline. We need to have discipline. Yeah. Gallagher was out, and then Kaisedo was almost out. I was screaming. I'm like, what are you doing, brother? Brother, stop. You get sent
I would say
off.
he was lucky to have finished the game.
He was lucky.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing, brother? Stop, please. I'm going to the TV. I want to get into the TV. I'm like, brother, no, don't do it. It's crazy. But we won 3 points, and I wanted this win very, very much because of Disasi. Because I remember few transfer ago, if you remember Disasi talking about Chelsea and making fun and I want Levy Conwell, we won't give you Kaisedo, and he kept talking. I wanted this to win, just to slap him on his face. I just wanted to win this game. And we won, and we look forward to Man United, and hopefully we take 3 points against Man United. I just don't want Heart Attack FC come back in Man United game. It's always happened. I just don't want that, So it always happened with United. If you look in the past, United, they're having a bad season, and then against Chelsea, they somewhere they pick up 3 points, and that's what I don't want. It's just crazy. But we move on as Bruce. We keep supporting the club, and Chelsea, come on.
Come on. I mean, we'll take the 3 points, but we have to talk about the underlying the issues we witnessed today. It wasn't perfect. We did well enough to win the game with 10-9, but at the same time, ill discipline is a big issue for us. Roger, I want to ask you this quickly, and that's what that came to mind after Isaac said what he said. I think there was a Brighton player who said something to the effect of Brighton being a happy place and Chelsea isn't. That money cannot buy you everything. Did you see anything to that effect?
I'm not concerned, coach.
Thank you very much, Roger.
Just not. I don't care about banter or innuendo or whatever.
No, not a fan. A Brighton player. But go ahead with what you were saying.
He's entitled to his opinion. Let him have it. That's fine.
Yeah, he is. That was when you could argue, I knew, okay, they're losing this one because it sounded as if he was arrogant. But go ahead, what you were saying, Roger.
Sour grapes, maybe. I don't know. It's irrelevant. It's
we've won.
Yeah, exactly. And people, they love to hate us, so it is what it is. I don't really put any thought process into it.
I love when people hate us. I just love that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Drinking
and I'm gonna go respond. Yeah, I'm gonna go say something to Brighton Bubble Twitter account in a bit. So Roger, I'll come back to you so you can choose a player. We'll look at the numbers. Great header, but Roger said it was his shoulder. Somebody said a great header. Beating Spurs isn't for everyone. You could say that, but I would have loved them to lose that game. Carlington, Enzo really stepped up in this game. He did very well. Overall, we still have a long way to go in terms of discipline and leadership. Yeah, those two things. Pros. Poster fraud look back. I think he's so stubborn to my liking, and I'm glad we didn't get him. Joseph's 15-goal record will live on forever, despite a Pep implementing this new era ultra defensive system of his with centre backs at full-backs. Is that how you see it, really? Wow. Okay, scandalous from the ref. A lot of people are saying that. And DJ, DJ, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Good evening, Coachella, and all a great hard-fought win. I think you could call it that. Today was you were at the match with my dad, Enzo Immense today. Yeah, he was. I want to hear the crap of Enzo, please. Deserve his man of the match award. He was excellent, and I've always known. Even though he hasn't scored for us that much, hasn't created much, he's so important to us that we had to, at one time, we did speak about him for about 30 minutes. What are we going to do in his absence? And the next game that he didn't play, we struggled. Sorry, Roger?
Yeah, he's our quarterback, basically. Is that simple?
Exactly. Go ahead, Roger. Elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, he's our metronome. He basically is the pulse. He's the cadence, however you want to term it. He is the person that distributes the ball. He has great foresight. He turns on the ball very well. You know, he's press resistant in many instances with both feet. I like the fact that one of his attributes is the way he passes with the outside of the foot. Excuse me, I beg your pardon.
Nonchalantly too.
Yeah, he's been doing that since his early days. So he's very technical in that regard. He does.
Would it be right to say he makes us tick?
Yeah, I think so. He's our metronome. That's exactly what it is. You know, he does unfortunately lack speed and size. However, he makes up for it with other attributes.
His overall vision.
Yeah. He's still, from an end product perspective, he's played for us for 11 months now, and his contributions isn't as high as I would like it. I'm just being honest with you. I think,
and you know, he's capable of doing more.
Yeah, exactly, and that's probably because of the circumstances surrounding us the last 12 months, with the amount of players, the coaching, etc., and the lack of continuity. So there's many reasons as to why he hasn't reached that ceiling. I get that, but his ceiling is very high, so no doubt about it. But what he does do, he does very well. But what he doesn't do well, he does very poorly, like shooting, you know, and actually creating more
extreme of both ends.
Yeah. But I must say, though, for the most part, he's pretty consistent at a high level. I must say that. That's not the case with a lot of our players currently. So considering his age, that speaks volumes. Would I prefer Bellingham over him? Yeah, but a different kind of players, you know. That's why I said on your show, when he was given the young player of the World Cup, I was astonished because I thought Bellingham was better. But, you know, obviously I'm biased because I'm English, but they're different kind of players, obviously. So we're comparing apples with oranges. But I think what he does for us, he does very well. And the price tag, that has nothing to do with him. He is not responsible for the price tag.
I hope you find a way to explain to Matt Law.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's like, you know what? You play at a level, and guess what? The market bears the price. And I think that a player shouldn't be blamed for his or her price tag. It's that simple. He's going to be, listen, there's no coincidence he was given a number 8, right? There's no coincidence. He's going to be a great player for us for years to come. So I'm very positive with him. Very seldom does he have a poor game. He does usually very well, and
Yeah.
he can only get better. Once we get players back and we become, shall we say, more consistent, with the amount of players that we're using, and once Poch and the coaching staff drill into us, I think this time next year you're going to see an elevated level of play all around, I believe.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Let's see what else we have here. The ref. Yeah, they're crazy in my opinion. I'm gonna skip past quite a few. Let me see what else we have here. Western Barca versus Chelsea 09. Wow. VAR could have ruined the game for us today when Brighton were asking for a penalty, and I nearly pooped in my pants because I thought the referee pointed to the spot. I was going to.
Yeah, so did I.
What? Yeah.
So did I.
I couldn't believe it. Even the commentators, pundits thought that was the case. VAR could have done that. That's a ref done. Let's see the beautiful game. Grealish was a yard onside and through on goal, and the ref said, "Nope." The rule, book clearly said, "Wow." I didn't see that. I missed it.
It was bad,
Wow.
Coach. It's one of the worst. Bobby's right. It's one of the worst refereeing decisions I think I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot.
Wow.
I don't understand. Listen, it's very hard to referee a game. Don't get me wrong. Being actually a linesman also is very tough. And don't get me wrong, but it's the fact that we continue to have errors in the video assist booth, the VAR booth. That, to me, when you have the ability to go back and they take up to 3 to 4 minutes and they have all these camera angles and yet they still misinterpret the law or they make inconsistent calls. This is where I have a problem. I don't have a problem with a referee on the pitch for the most part making errors because that's more understandable. Now, today's example, well, that's moronic, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, but it's the issue I have with VAR that they don't overturn. To me, I think also that the rules of the game, there's too many loopholes. I think they need to be refined because the lack of consistency and the lack of quality in refereeing, especially in the Premier League, it's daunting. If we supposedly have one of the best leagues, if not the best league, I think that the refereeing quality should reflect this also, and it's not. Let's be honest. The quality of refereeing is not equal to the quality of playmanship
or other European
on the pitch.
leagues, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's inferior. I really do. It's shocking.
Yeah, I'll come back to the panel in a bit. This ref needs to catch hands because, what you say there, VAR is a joke. It looks like he's made the game worse. If Enzo starts against Manchester United, they will bully our midfield next game. I think Enzo, you can say he's actually adapted to the English Premier League. You can't bully him off the ball easily like last season. Yeah, I remember I told you that
he's progressed. He's
progressed. Yeah, he's able to deal with the physicality of the Premier League. You can't pull him off the ball. Bald-headed refs should be banned from the British. So you think they're the ones making the mistakes? Marking. Let's see what else we have here. Fax DJ. Let's see. Arsenal remain top. No. Then here's the thing. Even if they remain top till January, they're not going to win the league. Remember, I told you that.
Probably not. No.
They even have European distraction this time. Except if they knock them out in the next round of the Champions League, then the chances of them winning the league will increase. But as long as they're still in Europe after the second round, they're not going to win the league. The more these refs cause controversies, drama, the more talk around the game on all platforms. Yeah, you know that. And the Bluetooth game says, Coach, if you were to give a trial to a set of foreign referees in the Premier League, which nations would you select? I'll go Italian referees are usually spot on. They usually Spanish referees, I wouldn't trust them that much due to the bribery scandal we've heard about. So I'd just go with Italian referees. They hardly go to the extent of doing stuff that you will look at and say, I think this referee was bribed. And that's because the punishment is severe. They fear doing that. Madueke should be playing. Sterling isn't as hungry as him. Madueke would get his chance, but we knew Sterling was going to start this game. It would take some awful lengthy performances for him to decide to drop Sterling. Yeah, but he was awful today. I think there's an Australian ref this year in the EPL. There is, I don't know. What a performance from Enzo, 2 goals. He did very well. Okay, you people are having a conversation there. Let's see. I don't think Markin likes him. Markin just thinks he will be bullied. And Francis Winters, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And my bro is in the house. Surinat Govindarajan, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. I hope the case is that you've been busy with work because bills don't pay themselves. But always nice to see you, brother. Much love to you. He says, big up my brother. Always a great streamer of Chelsea fan base. And my brother, indeed. Much love to you. I appreciate all your support. And hopefully we'll start seeing you more and more, maybe during the evening shows, because we want to be doing both. And I'm hoping to train people to help. But much love to you. Always nice to see you. Not today. We can do this on Blue Clouds Meet. Looks like you two have had a battle there, but it's all love. You didn't say you don't like Enzo. I think you're just saying you think they bully him, and I explained it that he's improved in terms of dealing with the physicality and pace of the Premier League. Anthony Tello was a 4th official touchline. Did they bring all battles? Maybe all battles to impress Pep. Maybe they did that. So if he was with the VAR, then they should just fire him because it looks like he's not capable of dealing with big occasions in terms of football, in my opinion. Thank you for having me on, brother. I much appreciate it. And that is Isaac. Let me make you a moderator so whenever you're here, you'll be able to share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. Please, people, go check out my bro's YouTube channel, Isaac a Football Club. All of you in the chat, go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you for having me on, brother. I am just gonna go buy groceries and start cooking tonight, but I still watching your stuff. Come on, Chelsea. I follow your content too. Please, let's go help him get to 10,000 as soon as possible. He's a good content creator and loves Chelsea Football Club. So, Bobby, I don't know. Do you want to say anything before Roger picks a player? He wants us to look at their numbers.
Yeah, I just wanted to take up this point about Man United bullying, or at least, trying to bully our midfield. I think it's a very valid point. I think they recognize the physicality or lack thereof issue. I know that Enzo has improved and he is indeed not easily bullied off the ball, but there's the issue of height, which they will use, and they have some tall players, people like McTominay and so on. People always tend to default to Bernardo Silva, but he's one in the midst of many. Can we beat them? I think they will. We can, but as the point was made, they suddenly become primetime Barcelona anytime they're facing Chelsea. And the question is, which Chelsea will we see? That is a valid point. Look, we've got to be ready to rumble always in the Premier League. The Premier League is not a league for soft teams. And thankfully today, we showed some steel, definitely, coming from 10 man down against Brighton is not easy. So I hope we can show that same steel at Old Trafford next week. Oh, on Wednesday it is, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a fast turnaround this time around.
I think from now on, it's going to be a game every 3 days.
Yeah, it's
okay,
like
so we better be on it like a Scotch bonnet. Is Reece James back?
Yes.
2 yellow cards, so he misses just a game, right? Roger, correct me if I'm wrong.
Affirmative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're certainly going to need him.
We'll be way better even with Kukurea back. He's become an important player to Yeah, go ahead, Bobby. If
Oh
you were
yeah.
still talking, apologies.
No, I was saying we're certainly going to need him, but I don't really fancy this one game every. I mean, 2 games a week. I wouldn't play him like that, and that's where Gusto. I hope he can get back quickly because we're going to need him too.
Yeah, we're gonna need him. I agree with you. Let's see what else we have here. Today's ref was sponsored by Mr. Shin Furniture Polish. Okay. Collington is saying if Man U try to bully our midfield, they will get red cards. Yeah. They will get red cards. Spurs try to do that
Ooh,
against
I'm
us.
not sure
Yeah,
at Old
I
Trafford.
think I agree. If they try to go that route, I think it will be detrimental to their performance on the day.
Not at Old Trafford. I've seen GBH against Chelsea players go free at Old Trafford. So
They get the calls, coach. They get the calls.
Remember the foul on Aspie in the box? Clear penalty.
Oh,
Not
the
given.
one that could have stopped him from having kids. Was it Aspie or Batshuayi?
No, that was Batshuayi. I think that was at the bridge anyway. But yeah,
was that one
another
at the pitch? Okay.
Yeah, our dear friend Anthony Taylor. So I don't trust officiating with Man U anywhere, especially at Old Trafford. Gosh, when was the last time Chelsea had a penalty at Old Trafford? I think you can flip him well whistle for that.
1906.
Yeah, when the club was founded almost. Yeah.
All right. If Man U, I hope that will be the case on that day. Casemiro, Ericsson, and McDonald's, they cannot bully a thing. I hope so. I want to see on that day. Let's see what else we have here. Now, it's going to be 0-0 at always. Yeah, recent encounters, meetings with Man United, you could say more than 70% of it has ended in a draw. But I have to look at it. Let me not just throw numbers at you from my wazoo. So, Roger, let's go for it. Who do we start with? Your cousin, but that's up to you. You choose.
I think it's only right that we start with him. Why break the tradition now?
Yeah, but boy, he was awful. Sterling was awful today, in my opinion, and that's a lack of consistency with. It just seems as if the difference for the Man City game, he wanted to show Southgate what he was missing. He was missing, in my opinion.
Do you know what really got me is twice in the game today he pulled out of tackles.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, he just basically he saw the tackle coming and he pulled out of a tackle twice today. I know it's what you call a business decision, but his heart isn't in it. It's
what did you call it? That's the first time I'm hearing it. A business decision?
Yeah, because your body is your office, right? So it's a business decision. I mean, I don't know. It's his no comment. I don't know. You know, it's the level which he basically comes down to. The lack of continuity and consistency in his game is shocking. And it seems when he's just about to be pulled from the starting lineup, he'll have a good game that will just basically reinforce the coach's decision that he's got to be in the starting lineup. Which I tell you what, I thought Mudryk today, especially with that turn that he made and then the shot that was only about a yard wide, I thought he showed flashes of brilliance today, Mudryk.
And you want him to be starting over your cousin?
I think that's a safe assumption.
We'll find out. We'll look at the numbers in a bit. Just give me 1 second here. Constantine Dante is saying the bad game count is on again, and probably 6 more or 5 more to go before he performs. I cannot defend him today. It was a less than a Stalin performance. What can I say? He was in the minus today, really. He attempted so many dribbles, and nearly all of them failed. Madueke needs to play. Yeah, I'd rather Madueke over Sterling, in my opinion. Mudryk was better than Sterling today. He was excellent, actually. That move and that cross that nearly led to us scoring a goal, plus that a solo move himself that Roger talked about already. When is Lavia back? We may never see Gallagher again. Lavia probably will not play the next game. Nkunku may
what do you
play
mean?
the next
What do you
game.
mean back? He's never been there in the first place. He hasn't kicked a ball for us yet.
So not back, so when is he going to make his debut? Thank you, Roger. I agree with that. For Raheem Sterling, he played 66 minutes. Goals 0, assists 0, total shots 0. Wow. Oh, accurate passes 12 out of 19, 69%. But you could argue mainly a safe option passes. Let's see. Expected assists 0.03. Wow. XG plus XA 0.03. Okay, touches 36 touches in opposition box, 4 in total. Successful dribbles.
What is it? Tell me. How bad is it?
0 out of 3. I think I didn't need numbers to see this. I was screaming, and one of my boys went, "That's too loud."
Coach, my favorite play was when he had the ball and he fell over it. Do you remember that?
Oh my goodness. I knew this part was going to be awful today. We were talking about him not getting up to 50. Go ahead, Roger. You were still talking.
If you recall, he had the ball out just outside the penalty area, and he basically falls over the ball while he's got possession. He was very soft today. He showed no resilience, no strength. I don't know. I'm not sure whether it's a physical aspect or it's his mental game. He's not into it. I don't know.
It wasn't. In all honesty, Roger, you could argue he was absent.
Yeah. Well,
I
don't know. I don't want to come across as like I have an agenda with him, as I don't.
You don't. You've been factual about him, and Constantine Bente figured out there's a pattern to his games for Chelsea. Every other 7 games he performs. But go ahead, Roger.
I don't think it justifies him to have a starting role in the team. And I know people can say, well, he's better on the left as opposed to the right. Yeah, I think there to some extent there's some truth to that, but I don't think at the expense of Mudryk he should be starting. I would like to see, for instance, Palmer play on the right with Nkunku in the middle, Mudryk on the left, and Broja or Jackson up front, whichever. Probably Broja. I'd like to see Broja start about 10 games consistently and see where that takes us. But regardless whether it's Jackson,
he has to take the chance when he comes. He has to take one of the chances. Then the manager will be, obliged to play him in subsequent games.
Well, he's not match fit right now either. But one of the, whether it's Jackson or Broja, that should be the front 4. I don't believe that Sterling has proven he can play at a sustained high level each and every week. Now, don't get me wrong. Versus Man City, he put in one of the best performances of the year for any Chelsea player. I'm not doubting that. I don't deny it. However, it's the amount of games that we go in between these performances that is the issue.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Lack of consistency is the issue, and lack of bad performances too is the reason why the manager is playing him. Because, like you explained, Roger, he plays badly, and then go ahead.
He doesn't just play badly. Like he has one great game, and then he is followed up by not just average performances, but very poor performances. And that, to me, that doesn't warrant a starting position. It just doesn't, based on what we've seen for the last year and a half, basically. And he was more consistent when he played for City, but when you consider the team that they have, I mean, he has some strong attributes, but they're far outweighed by his negative attributes, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can say his deficiencies are concerning, really. We've addressed that when it is on saying December debut is it's mad. Yeah, 2 debuts. Lavia and Nkunku yet to debut, and they do that this December. Coach, with the Stevie Wonder eye test, just go.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to create. Just go away, please. I'm not reading that. You know who Sterling's opponent today? 18-year-old, and he was on the yellow early in game as well. He was invisible. Wow. Stop indeed. Let's see what else we have here. Martin should replace Gallagher in our next game. I don't think Martin gets a chance in the next game. Yeah. Because we have James back and Kukurea too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Masson was elite. You cannot lie. You think? Okay. I enjoyed the post-game brow too. Very entertaining. Have we spoken about the Disasi? Let's go talk about the Disasi. I think he was excellent today. Matson was brought on into the right back position. Went a 5 at the back. Did we really? I need to watch it again. So I really want us to look at. I don't know. Let's go with Enzo. I think he was excellent today. Let's look at him. I wanted to look at Disasi, but let's humor the beautiful game. Since you mentioned Disasi, let's go with Disasi. Yeah, let's go with Disasi there. Just give me 1 second. He will pop up in a bit. He was excellent on the day. He played 90 minutes. Accurate passes 25 out of 31, 81%, not bad. Touches 47, passes into the final third 6. Accurate long balls 1 out of 2, not bad, 50%. Tackles 1, 2 out of 3. Blocks 1, clearances 5, headed clearances 4. Interceptions 1. Defensive actions 13 in total. Recoveries 4. Dribbled past 1 time. Duels won 7. That's a high. Duels lost a 5. The volume, to me, works. Ground duels won 3 out of 6, 50%. Aerial duels won 4 out of 6, 67%. I'll be shocking if that is anything below 50%. Not bad at all. He had a good game, in my opinion. And before, Poch reacted to Mitoma coming on, giving Disasi some problems. Matson may actually start against Manchester United instead of Mudryk. Palmer will likely come back. No, I don't think Matson gets a chance in that Manchester United game. James will be back, and Kukurea will be back too. So he puts Matson on to mark Mitoma. He did his best, but I don't know. Roger, let's hear you. Disasi his performance today. What do you think?
It stood out to me, to be honest with you. I thought he was very solid. If you notice, he was reminiscent of Rudiger. He would come into as far as the center circle and just bully people. You know, he let them know that he was there.
Language, yeah.
Yeah, he let them know that he was there. That you know, he actually, his stylistically, he was identical to Rudiger. You know, where he would basically. He would be right on his heels, literally letting him know you're not going to be able to turn on me. So pass backwards.
And those shots were deliberate.
Yeah, indeed. And so he let the attackers know that, you know what, you can't get by me. You're not going to be able to turn on me. And he used his physicality and his very well. His leverage. I thought he played outstandingly well. I really did. I'd have to watch the game a second time, but I thought he had a much better game than Badiashile. I thought Badiashile had good moments, but he also had some poor moments. I thought Silva, as usual, was outstanding, as was Disasi. In fact, Disasi to me stood out more than any of the back four. But based on my first view of the game, I'd have to look at it again in greater detail. But that's my initial. Yeah, I was impressed with him, and I have been. I'll be honest with you; he's exceeded my expectations this year. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Let's just
from
see
him.
the time he's improved. It took him. You can say a few games to come on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and any player that coming into a foreign league, regardless of what kind of league it is, like if you have a Premier League player and you go into, let's say, Serie A, it's going to take you a while to understand the nuances of how the teams play, etc. And so, listen, I wasn't sure what to expect from Disasi because I didn't know anything about him. And you can see that he's progressed game in, game out, that he's made small but incremental steps in improvement. And I think he feels comfortable with the fact that he knows what he's good at and he works on that and he does it very well. Now, true, you can say, you're playing alongside Silva, who's one of. If you can't learn from him, you can't learn from anybody, right? So you got to give him kudos. I think he's, and don't forget, he's playing a right back today. He's not playing a centre back. You know, understand that.
And would you say we missed him against Newcastle?
Yeah, I think we can safely.
It looks like it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, especially when you consider their physicality. But he's playing out of position, just like Colwell is. And I thought he stood out. I thought he did so well. I really did. I'm pleased for him. I'm actually quite happy that he played the position and not Kaisedo. But I was a bit torn as to actually who should be starting that position. I must confess, you know.
We did debate whether we should play Kaisedo in that position and bring in Ugochukwu centrally. I think that would have been an issue too, in my opinion. But Kaisedo today, I'm disappointed. But go ahead.
Yeah, Kaisedo. Listen, I like Kaisedo. Don't get me wrong. Please don't misinterpret this. But he's young, and I'm sure Bobby will definitely back me up on this. You can't expect a 10 out of 10 from such a youthful player, such a young player. Listen, I like Kaisedo a lot. Did he have his best game today? No. Was he maybe trying too hard? I don't know. He is. I definitely agree, gentlemen, that I thought he was lucky. We're lucky to be finishing with 10 players on the field. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, I can't believe Kaisedo finished the game. I have to be honest, and like Uncle Justin said, we were begging to lose that game.
As much as I didn't think that Gallagher's 2 yellows were a little bit soft, shall we call it? But that wasn't the case with Kaisedo. I mean, I think it evened itself out. Let's put it that way, because if Gallagher stayed on, and you could easily see Kaisedo being sent off. You know,
because you're saying that because we were a man down at the time, the ref probably subconsciously was being a bit lenient.
Yeah, psychologically, subconsciously, however you want to term it, I think that could have had a bearing on his decision-making ability. Because you know, if you listen to who was that Geordie ref, I forget his name. He's on NBC a lot. He's the one that said when Spurs played Chelsea at the Bridge, you know, years ago, he admitted that three red cards should have been given, but he didn't want to be the story. Well, you became the story by admitting that, because you should ref the game regardless of what you think about yourself. If you see someone deserves a red card, if you see someone deserves a red card, you give it regardless. If that means there's 8 players that deserve a red card, then you give them, period. It's that simple. You follow the game with the letter of the law and using common sense, of course. And so I think maybe this referee had that same mindset, that he didn't want to be part of the story. Regardless, we got away with one in that regard, I must confess. Because,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his mindset is, and who knows with these refs. It befuddles me each and every week. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it gets worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby, you want to talk about Disasi, or should we move on? I really want to start to look at Enzo's numbers. I think he was excellent today. But Bobby, if you're there, you go ahead. Let's talk about your boy Disasi.
Yeah, I just have to quickly, throw that in. I'm a fan. I think he is the truth. He is the answer.
Yeah.
He's not as fast as Rudiger was, but he certainly has all the personality. He's an excellent centre back. He does more protecting than he's given credit for. He really does cover up for a lot of the defensive back line. I'm glad he's with us and not against us. And I think,
Bobby fear physicality a lot. As if he's going to be dodging fights with big, huge guys during his school days.
Honestly, physicality in the Premier League is crucial.
It's a prerequisite.
You lack physicality and you will be treated like a child, as we have often come to see. So he is really a godsend. And I hope he's fit and ready for Man United, because we're going to need him when they come and try and bully us.
They're good aerially.
Yeah.
Oh yes, especially with our friend coming up from the back to for corners and that. Harry Maguire, he
somebody
loves a
had
good header.
I'm not gonna say it.
Labed.
Yeah.
And you did still say it, Roger. That was a bait.
It's a great nickname. It really is.
I don't know that. Okay.
You know who gave it to him, right? It was
It was you. I haven't heard anybody else call him that.
No, he got it from when he played in the World Cup, I think, or the European Championship from the Leicester number 9.
Oh, Vardy?
Yeah, Vardy gave him that nickname at the camp, Slabhead.
That's really not nice, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you know
You've
what?
got to be careful with that game because, they know how to win, even when playing badly, and they will be looking to win after what's happened to them this weekend. So we need to be
they will
extra
react.
sharp.
He's very
Or they'll
effective
try.
aerially, Maguire. He's very effective.
He
you know,
is.
I think he's better than anyone we have aerially. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and you could argue he's been one of their best performers after his re-emergence, in my opinion.
Well, if you look at the last game
Yes,
they
he
played,
has.
he was their best player on the field yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Whatever. He was their best player by a mile, by the way. When they played Newcastle, he stood out.
Yeah, and I think this time it will be different because they play high line too. They risk a lot. Except if they decide to be a bit more pragmatic on that day. Big up to you to Tayo A. I hope you're doing well. Who replaces Gallagher? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. Maybe Palmer will just come in and we still have Sterling. We still have because I think Mudryk will start against Manchester United. I think so. He did well enough today. Facts, Roger. Facts. Yep, just show him some love. Palmer is very good. Yep, he is an excellent player. Tayo, I agree with you. Spitting. Yep, Roger, he's been spitting the facts. No chance to drop Mudryk. Cannot drop him. Needs another run of games. He was brilliant today, in my opinion. Gallagher needs a break and some reflection. He deserved the red. Lavia is available. I don't think Lavia will be available for Wednesday. It was a proper Chelsea performance today. You could argue that. Yeah, Disasi had it pretty easy against Dingra Kid. You can argue that, but still give him credit. He did well. No way Lavia will start against United. I don't even think he will be on the bench. If anybody, it will be Nkunku to make his debut on the day. Sad to see, but we aren't ready to give a Silva a break, unfortunately. And we've been saying that since the start of the season. As long as he's fit, he gets to play. He's that important. He's not the quickest, but he reads the game so well on his day, he'd do well. But we'll have to find a way to manage it and phase him out gradually so that we can learn to do without him on time. Because if it's abrupt, we're in trouble. But if we plan for it, then we'll be okay. Kaisedo was playing against 11 to 10 who were attacking. Wow, okay. And CBR, nice to see you 100. Ugochukwu was a disaster against Newcastle. You have to watch that game again. But he was ineffectual, but the truth is not to the extent of being a disaster. I will be surprised if he gets to start against Manchester United. I don't think he will, unfortunately. Central defenders don't need breaks. They don't. Okay. Mudryk, Nkunku, Palmer, and Jackson. So let's look at Enzo Fernandez numbers. It says here he played 90 minutes and he's still just 22. 2 goals, total shots of 3. That's excellent return. Wow. Out of 3 shots, he scored 2 goals. Accurate passes, 26 out of 37, 70%. Not as good as usual. Expected goals, 1.35. That's excellent. That's a high. Expected goals on target, 1.55, that's a high. Expected assists, 0.02. Didn't do much in that aspect today. Let's see. Shot accuracy, 3 out of 3. Wow. Total touches of 51. Touches in opposition box, 3. Successful dribbles, 1 out of 2, 50%. Not bad. Passes into the final third, 5. He lives there mainly. Accurate long balls, 4 out of 7, 57%. That's poor given his standards. Non-penalty XGs, tackles 1, 0 out of 2, not his thing. Interceptions 1, defensive actions are 4 in total, recoveries 3, dribbled past 2 times. Yeah, defensively he will always have low numbers there. Duels 1, 6, duels lost 4, ground duels 1, 5 out of 9, not bad. 56%. Aerial duels 1, wow, 1 out of 1. Probably that goal. Was it?
Yeah.
I think probably that good. Yeah. 100%. Roger, don't get me laughing, please. because I expected to come tell me how it was a free header. Was fouled 2 times, fouls committed 1 time. An excellent outing for him today. Chelsea deserves to win as a Chelsea fan, and Tottenham Sports are here. Wow, you are okay. Okay, says Andy with Liverpool badge. So you might as well add Liverpool to that number to make it 3 clubs. So Constantine, thank you for catching that. Really, says. Let's see. Jerry isn't here. So Roger, any other person you want us to look at their numbers here?
Okay, I just want to ask something. Were you nervous when he was taking that penalty? I was a little bit nervous.
Nervous. I would not a little bit. I nearly crapped in my pants because I thought
I was like, oh my
was
Lord.
nervous. But the only hope was that he's already scored in that game.
Yeah, I thought he took the
You were saying
penalty.
something.
I thought he took the penalty beautifully, I must admit. Down the middle.
I have to see it again.
Yeah, it was well taken. I mean, consider his first penalty he took for us against West Ham. This was a huge improvement. So I was happy.
And this
about
one was
that.
down the middle, right?
Yeah. The keeper had no chance. I thought he took it very well. So I was very pleased about that.
Yeah. So any other player you want us to look at their numbers here? Yeah, down the middle. Yeah. That was a tap in. JC, didn't you hear about Jerry's problem? What's his problem? I haven't heard anything. So Bobby, you want to talk about Enzo, or do you have any other player you want us to look at their numbers?
Fun enough, while you were talking, I went to the blue stand and watched the highlights of the goals. He took his goals well. One may argue perhaps a bit lucky with the penalty. You know, Enzo is one of those unique players, isn't he? He's one of those players that he can't win you a game particularly, but there's something about him that makes him a very important cog in the wheel.
Yeah.
And he brings rhythm to the team. He brings a bit of class. Physicality, yeah, he can tell. What I like about him is that as the somewhat regista, which he is, let's be real.
Yeah, I think
He
he is.
certainly
But
is.
it's an improvement on the other register.
Exactly. He's a huge upgrade to Jorginho. You know, you won't push him off the ball easily. You know me, I hate seeing that in my team. I can't stand it. It really grates my teeth. So you know, he's a battler. He comes with that. You know, Argentines, they're battlers. They're used to the physical side of the game. It's their bread and butter from where they come from. So, today I can say, look, a goal is a goal is a goal. You know, I saw the first goal. You had to be there to head it in the first place. And where were the Brighton defenders? So I don't blame him for that. In fact, I praise him for that. The second goal, the penalty, the overall performance, I'll have to watch the game in its entirety. Is it disappointing that we allowed Brighton to get so close back into the game? Probably. I think there were issues about better finishing, which has plagued us for a while. But yeah, you know, Enzo is the future for this team. Definitely, he's going to be a very, very important part of this team going forward, and he will get better. Yeah, he's a World Cup winner, but he's a kid. He is a developing player. People don't really see that, and his development will go from good to excellent.
And I think he will lead. He will become a leader for us in the future. He leads now
For
by
sure.
example.
For
He
sure, you
has
can see it.
character. Yeah.
His temperament, his leadership, you know, he's always geeing up the team. And I like when he doesn't have a good game or when he does something bad, he gets really, really upset with himself. I like that. I like seeing that in the player. I don't like those that just smile and shrug their shoulders. No. Sadly enough, Mason Mount used to do that, and that used to really annoy me. But Enzo doesn't do that. He gets really upset, and I want to see that. I don't mean get depressed, but you know, you've done something. You know you can do better. Get upset. Get challenged by it. That's the word I'm looking for. be challenged by it. Like Thiago Silva, yes, he knew he messed up against Newcastle. He was challenged by it, such that his performance today was very, very good.
Yeah, Roger, you were going to say something.
Yeah, well, the one thing I like about him, Bobby, is the fact that his level of consistency is good.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
even
yes.
when he doesn't score.
Right.
He's on the elite trajectory, that's for sure.
Yeah, week in, week out, on the average, I would give him a 7.5, 8 kind of thing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
a very high level. He doesn't go much below a 6.5, 7, and he doesn't go much above an 8, 8.5. You get a very high, consistent
True.
output from him, and that's really high praise indeed for someone that young.
Yeah.
So that's what has impressed me more than anything, is his consistency, which is more than we can say about a certain other player that shall remain nameless.
Oh dear.
Sterling.
No, he's
I didn't hear anything. I
Too
didn't hear
soon.
anything.
Too soon.
Yeah.
I was given a wide berth of describing Raheem. You know, I think it's disappointing, to say the least, that a player of his caliber does what he does.
What you put it down to, Bobby?
It's a mental thing, isn't it? He doesn't, you know, the elite sportsmen, or shall I say sports people, because you know, sports people, men and women, you know, you
Yeah.
have to have a winning mentality. Winning must be part of your, not only part of your DNA, but part of your mental
Mindset.
processing.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know, your mental strength must be really, really A1 in terms of your application, that's it, to your craft.
Mhm.
And Raheem Sterling doesn't have that consistently enough. That's why
He
he's
was
been
he was
dropped
too
from the
passive
England
today.
team.
Does he lack
Yeah, I mean,
hunger?
what is that about? What is that about from
Yeah, he
a
was too
player of his
passive.
caliber? Okay, look at Man City and look at Rodri. Rodri never drops his game. Never.
Yeah.
You know, that guy just went up when he hit the ages of 27, 28, which he is now. He's become this irrepressible machine. And he's got, you know, the physicality to go with it in the Premier League, but his application is spot on.
You're talking about Man
As is
City.
Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You're talking about
You know,
Man City's
so
Rodrigo, right?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rodri for
Rodri.
short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you know, I'm so disappointed in Raheem. You know, I was very impressed against Man City, against Spurs, you know, and then I
So do you
don't know.
think? Do you think it's, gentlemen? Do you think it's a lack of hunger, ambition, or what?
Well,
Possibly, you can say a mix of everything that comes to mind. Really.
all the above. You're right, and
Yeah.
I think, you know, coach has often alluded to it. Raheem plays well in a team that's playing well. Raheem
Yeah.
will do well when the rest come back, your Nkunkus and so on, and he gets benched sometimes. I think that will be what he needs. He needs a trigger. He needs a switch on to get to switch on, as it were.
A kick up
And
the backside, right?
yeah, and you know, when he doesn't have that, he just switches. I don't know to what. Disappointing. He's not a kid. He's not a
No.
kid. I can take it from Gallagher. I can take it from any one of these kids. You know, with reluctance. But for him, it's inexcusable. No, it's bad.
Yeah, that's my mindset also.
Yeah, unfortunately, Poch isn't making proper sub adjustments, and players are indisciplined. We need a better discipline. I agree. We need to work on our discipline. But in terms of subs, I'm still watching him. Just go. Don't ask me that. He didn't. Let me just tell you, from what I know, he did not. Brighton is the top 6 team this season. If everyone is healthy and well coached, yeah, they are excellent actually, and they're well rehearsed. Yeah, just go away. Coach, that ref's decision is blowing up on Twitter. It appears that someone is going to be officiating in the championship next week. Hopefully,
No,
he takes his ball, fourth official with him. I
Coach,
think the fact that Anthony Taylor was a VAR official and didn't say much, I think he's in trouble too.
Did
he
Yeah.
you
should be.
Did you see
all of them. Sorry,
Did
I
you?
mean, I can't resist this because I was furious, and I have no time for Man City, but that was so bad, so bad. Oh my God, how was that anywhere near? It was an
Yeah, it was
excellent
Roger.
through ball.
Mhm.
Did,
Oh, it's unforgivable. I mean, I kudos to Guardiola and the Man City players because, as I said, earlier when I interrupted the guy that was talking, if that was Chelsea, I would have been in. Nothing is holding me back from that one. That was disgusting. Oh God, awful.
shameful, shameful.
It's just the timing of it. The player was away. I mean, damn.
Who
What are
does
you
that?
thinking? And the thing is, VAR, in a way, I mean, look at me. It was so bad. I'm even giving Anthony Taylor a get out of jail card. The thing is, even if they did say something, the rules of the game has already taken away the moment. What will you do? You give them a drop ball or a free kick. The moment is gone. It's unforgivable. You might say, okay, he may not have scored, but nah.
Do,
Oh,
do you,
that's terrible.
do you know what got me is when Guardiola was talking to Anthony Taylor, and if you look at his expression, it was gormless. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Oh, that was horrible. Oh, coach. Oh, thank
Yeah,
God that
I
wasn't
need to
us.
see it. I need to see it. Sanchez is an enigma style, a very good and bad at the same time. So frustrating and amazing. Wow. I hope he improves. That was a clear penalty. Milner on Madrid. It was. A lot of people were saying it wasn't, but it was. He shoved him, and you could see his hand moves this way. Why do you move if you're not shoving somebody? Why is your hand going in that direction? I didn't think they were going to recommend the ref to go to the monitor, and even then, there was a chance he might not give it. Wow. Okay, I'll look at it. Roger, he has won everything already except UEFA Champions League and international. So, Roger, he's telling you why Raheem Sterling is like that. I think whoever you're mentioning there, who's off sending those, despite the win, send it when Nico backs the hat trick. Okay. Raheem's the team. Yeah. Uh I'm not reading that again. Bamba is a leader too. He has it in him. He leads by example. More importantly, it's called a human error, possibly, but that's so blatant because the VAR is there and the referee is there. Two options to actually do something, get the call right. That was horrible. A call on Haaland, a foul, and
Yes. Coach,
Grealish's
can
take.
I say something quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead.
You know why I and many others, even non-Man City fans, are so enamored by that decision was that it was a
Mhm,
kind of decision that could not be rectified.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? That was what was so painful and so
mhm.
angry. It was a decision that disrupted a movement, a flow in the game that was leading to a goal. I mean, if there was a rule that would just give a team a goal, I would have given them a goal. I know that would be ridiculous because, there's no. Oh, no, no. He was through. It was just him and the keeper. How can you reenact that? And that's where I can't even blame Anthony Taylor because I think they did get a free kick in the end, didn't they? Roger, Roger, you watched it.
Yeah.
They got a free kick, but by
Yeah.
then the moment was gone. I think that the most annoying thing about that decision, why I say it's the worst I think I've ever seen, was that it stole a moment which could never be rectified. Do you see what I
Well,
mean?
when you consider the moment of the game, the timing, and what's
Yes.
transpiring, this is what you have to take into context. This
Oh,
wasn't the
it's horrible.
second minute of a game where you can make up for it. There was basically
Horrible.
no time left in the game.
The
It
only the
was
only other time I felt like this was when in our Champions League quarterfinal game at the Bridge, when we were denied about four clear handballs against Real Madrid, and they against Barcelona, and
awesome.
they
Yeah, yeah,
equalized. I mean, I was incensed. I was insane.
Yeah,
That is
Michael Ballack went nuts too.
Yeah, Drogba, everybody. That is the only time I've had that emotion, and this is not for my team. This shows how bad it is.
Yeah.
Damn, this is awful. I think it has. They should be banished from the Premier League for the rest of the season, at least. That's not acceptable.
Do you know
Oh my
why though?
God.
It's because I think the depth or the lack thereof in refereeing, skillful refereeing in the Premier League, I think is
Is
very,
lacking. Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's
takes a
very
lot to.
thin
And Roger, you know another bad thing about the decision? It possibly robbed City of the 3 points.
for
That's
sure.
another angle to it. Of course, they're going to be upset. Their fans will be fuming right now. That guy better leave Manchester quick, because
Yeah.
we can't guarantee safety. I mean, this is horrible. I don't. Well, yeah, I do mean to say it. That some lunatic somewhere might take that just a step too far. It is that provoking. Oh, no, no, no.
It was
Bad call.
ineptitude. Oh, I think that's an understatement, Bobby.
Yeah, we're about to round off. Let me catch up with what we have so we can call it. It's a massive error in that City game. It also shows the ref end up to the game. Sometimes Brighton was given a PK today before VAR stepped in. Yeah, was that the case? I think it was. Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Hello to you too, Sameko. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you joining. Let's see, a free kick, but momentum dead. Constantine thinks the refs do that sometimes. They are refs, not ex-footballers or ex-football players. They don't have that instinct. Some argument there. Let's see what else we have here. Angie is a very good manager. Give him his flowers. He's overachieving in his first season in the Premier League. Too much risk. Honestly, chances are, had it not been a team like Man City that plays a high line to a very risky approach, deploys a very risky approach, they won't score 3 goals. Yeah, another point in the can. Watch out for the tweet. I'll wait for it and I'll watch it too, and I'll leave a comment. So just thank you very much for informing us, and you can also share the link there if you have time. What a performance, but bro, I don't think that was a red card. It doesn't matter. It could have gone either way. And when that is the case, and when you say it could have gone either way, just take it as you say, as it happened, in my opinion. Yeah, he made it easier for the referee to give him a second yellow. Many good coaches in the Premier League. Name top 5. I don't think Poch is on it. That is just your opinion. I think he is. And I still think he'd do well at Chelsea. For me, we're making progress. What we haven't seen is consistency, like Roger did say the other day, and it makes sense. Poch agrees with me. He came out on a presser, never a second yellow, and a red. Wow, never a second yellow. In my opinion, it could have gone either way. I don't know what else to argue. Roger, let's just talk about that, then we'll call it a day. Do you agree that it should have never been a second yellow?
Are you referring to Gallagher?
Yeah.
Listen, as I said at the very beginning, Gallagher's mistake was going to ground and giving the referee the opportunity to decide whether that was worthy of a yellow or not. Don't give the referee a reason to book you. I thought it was a soft card, especially when you consider a lot of refs give the benefit of the doubt to a player who's already on a card. I mean, unless it's an egregious straight red kind of tackle where it's a leg breaking tackle, of course. But when it's something that is that subjective, you're basically part of the story. And I thought that was the case. For instance, had it been a Brighton player that was in that scenario, I would have looked at it and said, wow, we got lucky, because that was a very subjective card. Based on the fact that he's already got one, I don't believe that there was no intent to hurt. He was going for the ball, and it looked like, he was basically shielding him off. So that's my logic. But his mistake wasn't the actual tackle itself. It was the fact that he went to ground and gave that ref the opportunity to even consider giving him a card. That's what you could call that naivety, inexperience. Maybe, maybe he's pumped up, But as I said before, Coach, I know you said today that once he got that first yellow, he should have been subbed off. But as I said, he's been he's been yellow carded very early on in the match this year, and guess what? He lasted the whole game. So
and if you remember, I explained why I thought that would have been the better decision, and that's because he's what he's done before he got the first yellow. He could have gotten the yellow from a first challenge actually before the first yellow. But go ahead,
But you can't play predictor. You know, you never know. Like he could have taken him off, and it could have been to the detriment of the team. One doesn't know. But I'm just saying, listen, if this was him last year, I would have definitely said that, because he was very rash. He was very, he lacked discipline. I think this year he's shown a remarkable increase in his discipline. I think we can all safely assume that he's not the player with the same mindset that he was this time last year.
He's a much better player.
He's a much better and a more mature player. However, you know, and he'll learn from this. You know, I don't think he went in with a rash. You know, he didn't have the red mist. He didn't make an angry tackle. This isn't where he lost his cool. That was far from it. It was a calculated tackle, but nevertheless, considering where you are, you know, if he wasn't carded before, you could make that tackle. That's no problem.
Yeah.
But to
that's
do
my
so,
argument. Go ahead.
But it wasn't because he didn't do it under the auspices of him having red mist, you know, being very furious, being angry, losing his cool. He was quite cool, calm, and collected, coach. So you can't say he was rash. I just think it was based more on naivety more than anything. And he'll learn from that. So you know when you see a player, you know when you see a player that is so rash, so irrational, so pumped up, so you know he's got a temper. That wasn't the case, coach. You know, if that was his mindset, then I say yes, straight away he should be taken off. But that wasn't the case. This is my interpretation anyway. You know, that doesn't mean I'm right, but this is how I see it.
Let's say anybody you want to add to that before we call it a day.
Sorry,
because second yellow. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, because I haven't fully seen it, coach. Can I just please just revert back to that decision against Man City as to
go ahead.
How bad it was and why it's so unforgivable, and there must be punishment on that referee.
Oh yeah.
You see, this guy blew the whistle with certainty for something that I know the letter of the law says a referee should, if there is a disputed situation, allow, and the game is in flow like that, allow the movement to conclude and then blow and review the situation with VAR. So if he had allowed it to conclude, City could have had their goal if VAR had said, no, he was onside. But this guy stopped it. Oh, man, I'm just, the more I think about it, I just get so angry. He stopped this thing. He had no, oh, gosh, I'm just,
This could be the difference between City winning the title or not.
It could be. That's why it's so painful. And it's not my team. That shows how bad it is.
Yeah, exactly. Ditto.
You know? Anyway, sorry, Gallagher, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen the entirety of the game yet. So I can't actually comment. I will go with what I'm hearing about the fact that perhaps he caused it by his motion to the ground. And, you know, when you do that, you are always drawing attention. And when the opposition is wily, as these players are, they will make it look like a foul. So I don't know. A bit, yet again, the immaturity, the developing side of his game, he will learn from that. I've seen more mature, more developed players commit the same error. It's an error on his part, which he will learn from. And I did see your tweet on X, your X on tweet, whatever it is these days, about that. And you called it right. You know, you said, get him off. This guy's going to get another card. Temperamental issues. But these are all the teething problems of young players developing, maturing, learning. This is what it is. Now, people might come back. Oh, he's learned. He's been at Crystal Palace. That was Crystal Palace. this is a whole new dynamic. He's now coming to the big boy stuff, where a lot of responsibility is on his shoulders, and he needs to learn that. And I think this will be a lesson to him. Well, it better be, because with the players that are coming back, if they come back and they're fit and they do what we expect them to do, he will certainly be on the bench.
Yep, thank you so much, Bobby. I'll catch up with what we have in the chat and we'll call it a day. It's been an excellent show. I'll try to see if we can do a match rating show for the Blue Morning Show. Yeah, Paul Checker is with you. We've addressed that. JC, just talking about JC there. But Roger, technically, our opponent was Brighton and not the referee. I mean, technically, he could have just fouled him normally, not lunge like that. Yep, yeah, he gave the ref the opportunity to decide his fate, or whether he stays on the pitch or not. Even the referee, if he played for City today, would be disappointed with that action. Pep, wow, the sort of comments he makes, classic, really. Classic comments that doesn't go away. It looks like the ref was running around with the card in his hand. Yeah, and then even bothered to put it back in his pocket after first challenge. Guardiola, next question. I will not do a Mikel Arteta. I love this guy's comments, honestly. It's hard when you review the image. The referee decides to blow the whistle after he's already said play on. Yeah. My gosh. Guardiola is sharp. Yeah. His comments are classic. Ten Hag, 11th loss, 6th December 2023. I knew you were going to say that, Jerry Z. And people, if you're watching, if you haven't, go check out Jerry Z's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. And I want to say thank you for 58 likes and 5,083 83 views, plus more than 30 subscribers for this particular show. That's not easy. It's not been like that for a while. Roger says he will learn from this. Didn't he do that before? I mean, it doesn't end with one. He's still a kid, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was last year. And he was a different player last year.
Yeah, and it doesn't end with one. This is very common with young players, and hopefully he will learn from this. But I still blame the manager. He could have saved him that. After that first yellow, in my opinion, given the way he played even before he got that first yellow. You can gauge the game when you see a person given a pen for a ball to the face. Yeah. Games and Enzo for the quickest card, drawing reps in the world. They will always have a career as a teller in Vegas. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, he's not a nice guy. I'm sure you know that, Roger. Who will be our captain next week? Thiago Silva, most likely. Except James is going to play, right? Not next week, on Wednesday, actually.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, James is going to play, so he takes the armband. I understand Rhys James will be back. 2 weeks, 2 captains, 4 yellows and 2 reds amongst them. Yeah, it's our story. Might as well share it around the team each week. Yeah, since it's going rounds on its own. I nominate Sterling next week. Maybe that will make him play better. Maybe, I don't know. The worst performance produced 3 points. I prefer that to the usual useless, unproductive ball possession, or we played well and we didn't just put the ball away. Roger will like that because he's always said he would take it, given that we've played well on occasions and didn't win games. Not bad, but we will get yellows. Sterling dives a lot. Yeah. Coach, I said it. We need to win ugly, 3 points, and we move on. That's the most important thing. Yeah, Roger, anything else you want to say? And Bobby, or should we call it a day?
No, that's totally fine. A great show as always, Coach.
Yep. Very enjoyable and always nice to have you on the panel, Roger. Bobby, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I concur. Great show, and yeah, we meet again.
As always, and I have,
day.
Yeah, and I have the information, your information on in the description section. Roger, I even have your SSN and
Very good.
Yeah, very good. I would never forget the way you responded. Like, what the heck is it?
Yeah, not my best, not my brightest moment.
But thank you guys. It's been an excellent show as usual. Give Poch the captaincy then. Yeah, since it's going rounds and we have how Jackson rated 7.3. Yeah, I don't know. He got an assist and I think he did well overall. That brother is done one good thing. I think he did well. What was our XG total? 1.176 or so. Let me see that.
1.9 or
just
something.
quickly before we call it a day. 1.93 actually. To Des 1.02. So you can say it's a deserved win for us. He created and assisted a goal, yeah. And preserving Nkunku today and probably next Wednesday could be the start against Everton or Saturday. We'll see. But I want to say thank you to Bobby for finding the time to join the panel. Thank you to Roger. Who else was on the panel also? I think we had Isaac was also on the panel. And thank you to Lucilla. Lucilla, nice to see you. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing well. Constantine Dante, much love to you too. And JZ, JC, much love to you. Chimera, much love. The Blue Tifu Game, much love to you, my brother. And all of you, if I didn't say your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And bye.
Good night.